Some of the content of Patriots Unfiltered may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The world's original podcast.
Welcome to Patriots Unfiltered.
Evan comes in and he's like, guys, don't tell anybody. But I heard from Cincy that Burrow's going to practice. Outside, you hear Dan Roach like talking about, hey, I just heard from Mike Petraglia and he said that. It sounds like he's telling everybody.
Maybe our football team's listening, but they thought this is the game because they're not worried about the Patriots pass rush. Oh. So put that on your.
I had no idea where he was going with that.
Put that on your bulletin board.
Thank God I had a sister. She took care of the grandkids. There you go, Mom and Dad.
Yeah. No. You're gonna be the worst uncle ever.
I want to see Evan as a dad.
I'm a great uncle. Thank you.
Listen, Daddy's got to watch film.
Yeah.
Go
This
find
is
your
called
mother.
digging
Go find
out
your
the
mother.
nickel.
Uncle Evan gave me a hard drive for Christmas. Yes.
She a hater too?
I haven't heard her. What show
It was on this. It was on the same thing.
What show?
It was on the very same thing.
What show
NFL
was
Live.
that? I have no idea.
But you are doing right now what Stephen A. Smith is accusing Drake May of doing. Being intentionally
But I'm not
obtuse.
lying. I don't even know.
Paul
the
loves
show.
network television.
I guess he does.
It's on the Twitter.
Now he's calling me a liar.
I didn't say that you're a liar. I said you're being intentionally obtuse. You have to go out of your way to not know that.
I know Sanders had a really horrible game. I didn't see it, but I heard
He never played with the starters before.
He was just awful.
Yeah, I saw it.
This is Patriots Unfiltered.
Presented by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
All right, welcome to Patriots Unfiltered. It is Tuesday here at Gillette Stadium, and we are 10-2. When I say we, I mean the Patriots, but that's we. So that's the good news. The good news is we got out of, where were we? Cincinnati with a win, but not unscathed. Yeah. So we are officially into the grind of the NFL season. Yeah. Last 5 game stretch. We still haven't had our bye, and so we saw some injuries on Sunday, and that seems to be the big topic coming out of it. But I don't think it should be.
No,
I really don't. I think the fact that this team is 10-2, they're at least 1, if not 2 years ahead of schedule. They've got this young quarterback who we need to talk about how he started the game. We do need to talk about that, but I think this is a team set up that, at least in the near term, will be able to weather the grind.
I hope so. I mean, I look. It felt to me like this is a team kind of limping to the finish line of the bye week, and how is it going to look now when we get to Monday night? Can they somehow just find some energy somehow? Not to get to the Giants yet, but they got run all over. They've gotten run all over. Again, we're talking about another historically bad element of a defense like we did last week. It didn't matter last week, but maybe it can matter this week. Maybe they can run the ball a little bit and manage the game that way. But no, it's great what they've done. But I just feel like now it's like just grind out one more win, get to 11,
get to the bye.
And then get to the bye and try to like regroup and get re-energized. And it just, to me, and I don't know how you guys felt, you were there, but it seemed like they just, and the injuries were part of it, but it was one of those wins where we got the win, but man, it took a lot out of us.
I think they obviously left points on the board, and points on the table. I mean, they didn't put them on the board. They had opportunities to score more points, to move the ball better. Early, Drake just was off for whatever reason. He was just off. He credited it to just, I don't know. What did he say was the reason? Just not thinking, thinking too much maybe?
No, I didn't really say anything, really. Just
I thought he said, I'm best when I just, get rid of the ball. And I think that, to me, insinuated that he was just thinking too much. Like, whatever he saw, he didn't trust. Like, for example, that throw to Hunter Henry that he was wide open.
The interception,
I remember sitting there saying, "Oh, he's open," and the ball just sailed over his head.
What was that? Do you have any theory on that though? Like, did he throw it to the wrong side, or was it just a bad throw?
I think that you could probably just chalk it up to a bad throw, but there's a little bit of everything going on with that play. I think we can take that formation for now and let's junk it. All right, They only had 4 offensive linemen blocking on the play. They had Ben Brown flexed out wide as a non-eligible offensive lineman at this point in the game. and they were trying to set up a little screen to Travion Henderson, it seemed like, on the outside where he had Ben Brown as a lead blocker.
Which play are we talking about?
The pick six.
Oh, the pick six. I wasn't talking about that play, but go ahead.
Oh,
What play were you talking
I was talking about where, maybe, I thought it was just an incomplete. Maybe it was the pick six.
I think it was the pick six.
Yeah.
I don't think there were too many incompletions to Hunter Henry in this game.
So it
And
must
that
have been
was
the
one of
pick six. I just,
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so that's okay. So the pick six, I think the play was designed to throw it out to the screen to Henderson if they had the numbers. I mean, why else would you put a lineman out
Right.
there unless that was the design of the play? And I think what ended up happening is, Hunter Henry just kind of flashed open in the middle of the field, and he just saw it and tried to layer it in there and airmailed it. And when you airmail it in this league over the middle of the field, going back the other way.
Yeah.
And so maybe there was a little bit of, Henry kind of bent it in, and he might have thought he was just going to keep going up the seam, but
No, it went right over his head, so it wasn't like behind him or in front of him.
no, it was a little behind him.
Really? From where I was sitting, it looked like I said, I sat up and like, oh my God, he's open. And then he saw him too, but
Yeah,
it was
when you
just
see it from the end,
uncatchable.
when you see it from the end zone angle, it's behind him. So I thought maybe Henry kind of like bent it around the linebacker, and so maybe he was kind of thinking bending it a little bit, like almost like a seam bender. But Drake May wanted him to go straight up the seam. I'm just saying that could have. If you want to find a way to make an excuse that it wasn't just a bad throw, that was probably the one thing I thought of that maybe it could have been. But all in all, like he's allowed to have a bad throw. Like it's not, it happens.
Yeah.
They move on, and I was encouraged by how he bounced back for the most part from it. Sometimes you throw a pick six like that, an ugly interception, that can ruin the entire day. Now the quarterback just goes, especially a young quarterback, just goes into the
Right.
crap or the rest of the day, and he didn't. So
I don't think even the rest of the day, I don't think he was that accurate, but he did recover enough to
Made
win the
enough
game.
enough plays to win the game.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I think is a testament to him and the team for showing the toughness that they've shown, I think, in all 12 games.
Yeah.
Really.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, start a game like this last year and forget about it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the start was, something seemed weird from the beginning. I don't know. And were they doing like a close up of Drake's like grip on the ball or something? Were they talking about that? Like I couldn't.
Well,
like,
so
I'm kinda half listening.
on the third play of the game,
Yep.
when Jared Wilson went out of the game, I think it was the third or fourth play, Jared Wilson went out, and they ran a little interior twist inside against Ben Brown, and they didn't pick it up, and his arm got hit as he was throwing the ball. As his arm was moving forward, Drake took a pretty big hit on his throwing arm, more like his bicep than his hand. I know some people were talking about his hand, but it was more about like his
See
actual
him doing a little of this.
Yeah, and I wonder if maybe it hit the funny bone or something like that, and he was like kind of like got tingly and lost a little grip in his hand. So if you want to look for something like that, I think that was probably the play that maybe led to him having sometimes you can't like feel your hand or it gets tingly or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that could be part of it.
Yeah.
But the other thing that we need to talk about is this red zone offense. How many times did they have inside at least 7 opportunities inside the 5 to score?
Well, if you combine the 2 red zone drives, they had 9.
9.
9 or 10.
Inside the 5.
first one was 8 plays. But yeah, I mean, look, I guess I have a little bit of a different tone from this game, but we can talk about the red zone stuff.
I have a different tone on the red zone specific.
Yeah.
I think the red zone problem was specific to this game. I don't think this has been a major problem all year, but evidently everybody else does.
Well, they're 20th in red zone offense.
Yeah, okay, so I'm wrong.
But at the same time, and I think Vrabel said this yesterday on EEI, like we have a very arbitrary, like when you're inside the 20, so if we score a touchdown from outside the 20, then that doesn't count towards our red zone stats, but we still scored a touchdown.
I don't like that argument, Josh.
Right. So like I hear what he's saying with that, but their goal to go red zone offense in Tampa struggled a little bit. Now they did get it in on the 4th down play before halftime, but it took them 4 tries to get it in. And then they struggled a little bit this week, but watching it back this week, I thought it was more about execution than it was about play calling. I know a lot of it is being made out of the play calling.
1000% execution.
But like the first trip down into the red zone, just starting from the beginning, he throws a little swing pass in the flat to Travion Henderson. And I love Travion Henderson, but I'm sorry that you have one-on-one in space against the linebacker, score a touchdown, dude. Like, make the guy miss and get into the end zone. Then he drops back on a play-action play from underneath center, and he trips on Mike Onwenu coming out from underneath center. Yeah. And so Hunter Henry's open.
According to the broadcast, it was the change in the offensive line that caused that, like the uncertainty with... No. It was Michael Onwenu, who's played every snap of every game at right, at right guard.
And it happens. Like, these things happen.
It happens all the time.
But, he's coming out from underneath center. He stumbles coming out, tripping on his offensive line. Hunter Henry's open on the corner route for an easy touchdown, and he can't get it to him fast enough because he's stumbling and bumbling. So you have that play. Then, the fourth down play that they stop the inside run. It's an RPO. I thought he probably should have kept it and thrown the ball out in the flat to Hunter Henry, who was open for a touchdown. And instead, he gave the ball to Ramondre Stevenson. Probably, it's a bang play. Those are hard to read, but it probably was better to keep it than to hand it to Ramondre on that particular play. So I thought that and then the pick play, which it's going to get called, but the defender was burned and had no chance. So it's kind of annoying.
Plus, he held his shirt before the.
There was a collision, and that's going to get called. But at the same time, I thought it was a really nice sell job by the corner who went like, and then that sort of thing. And, so those are 4 plays that I just mentioned in that 8-play sequence where they had touchdowns on all 4 plays right there. And they just weren't able to execute it. So you can take out, the coaching is part of that, right? Like, you have to practice and you have to be able to execute down there. But I didn't think that this was like, the Bengals really just had the clamps on their red zone offense. I thought this was just kind of a mess.
Did the Tonga injury happen prior to those red zone possessions too? It's just something that's out of the playbook once he's out.
But he was also healthy for Tampa, and they couldn't score on the goal line against Tampa. Like, to me, this all kind of goes back. Like, if you need to get 1 yard, you have to be able to run the ball in. You have to be able to run the ball in from the 1, whether that's a sneak or it's an actual run. Like, there's no excuse to not be able to pick up a yard in that situation.
And there was one thing that Drake said after the game that sort of resonated with me and made me think of some of these different plays, specifically the ones down there. And Evan just sort of talked about, he thought one of them might have been an RPO. Which would make sense. And Drake said, I got to be better at the line of scrimmage. And I think there were times where the Bengals sort of dramatically shifted. At least once it led to a timeout because they weren't ready. Another time it led to them running right into the shift. Looked like he was not comfortable with that. So I wonder if maybe like the RPO, maybe he thought he was getting something else, ultimately didn't. And as Evan says, it's kind of easy when we watch. Oh, geez, if he had just pulled it there, he probably has Hunter Henry wide open.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's what Drake is talking about. Maybe some of the stuff that he saw pre-snap didn't end up happening.
Yeah, did you find that interesting when as soon as they put Stevenson up to kind of protect against the mug, that they then had the guy sprint to the other side and then just had a free run? I mean, that's because I think the first time they did it, Drake noticed it and he seemed to acknowledge it, but still nobody picked it up.
And it wasn't Will Campbell's fault. He blocked the guy.
Yeah. Now,
if Will Campbell goes to the outside and gets the blitzer, the other guy comes in.
Now, numbers wise, they would have overloaded either side. So I don't know exactly what the coaching point would be to adjust the protection. I saw what you guys saw, that the safety started on one side, they put Stevenson up and he ran to the other side, but they still would have overloaded the right side if he had came off the right side. But I think they saw the opportunity to come to the blind side, so they moved him over. But I give some credit to the Bengals.
Me too.
They were well coached in this game. They had a good plan. They really did some things in this game that they hadn't done before, some unscouted looks and things like that.
I agree with you on that. I thought the Bengals played hard in this game. And I would say it was funny because Mike and I were looking at it and we were like, the Bengals either have a really good play on defense or they just decided to not cover Hunter Henry. There was no in between. I think they did a pretty good job on the receivers. I don't think I didn't see a lot of wide open guys. I mean, even the best throw of the day for Drake May down the seam to Demario Douglas was not an easy throw.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
That was kind of a tight window.
Yeah. How did you phrase that one, Ev? The pole runner?
So the linebacker is the pole runner. Yeah, I wish, listen, whole shot, pull runner. Like, I don't name these things. It's just what they are.
No, it's fun though.
So who does?
The whole shot, I
So-
remember people talking about when I was in high school. I never heard about what do you call it?
It's called the pull runner.
Pull runner. I don't think I've ever heard the pull runner.
P-U-L-L or P-O-L-E?
Pull, like a pole.
Like a pole.
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 run on the
P-O-L-E.
Yeah.
Run on the
Okay.
pole.
So,
maypole.
it's cover 2, right? 2 high safety. And then, Tampa 2, which is, the Dungy version.
Yeah. Except for no one has Derek Brooks.
They have now, they designed a way to combat 3 vertical routes from cover 2. Because the issue that they were having is that they were just running the guy right through the chute between the 2 safeties, and there's not a third guy high to take that. So now that they have is the pull runner, the linebacker. He's now basically part of the deep part of the zone. So if the inside receiver in the slot runs vertical, he's going to carry the vertical up the middle of the field. Pull runner. You also hear a lot. 3 up is 3. So if 3 verticals happen, then you basically kind of turn it into cover 3, essentially.
It's great catch 22
instead of cover
content.
2.
Sorry, we're doing a crossover episode for here a little bit.
So yeah, that's the parlance. of
Okay.
it. I like 3 up is one of my favorites. I love that.
So they figured out how to win. They figured out how to get out of Cincinnati with a win. That's the most important part. They're 10-2. They're sitting pretty. I think they're number 2 seed as we stand.
They're
Denver.
one.
Number seed.
Oh, they're 1 right now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
'cause-
played more games than everybody else.
Yeah,
So
okay.
technically they're
First to
ahead.
10.
Okay. But even looking ahead, Denver seems, right now, I would say Denver only has 2 losses, right?
Yeah, they're tied with Denver in the
Yeah.
last column.
So, but Denver has a much tougher schedule going ahead, wouldn't you say?
I don't know what
They
Denver's
do down
schedule
the
is.
stretch. I was
Probably-
looking at this last night.
Yeah.
They have I want to say they have the Raiders and one other team coming out of their bye that should be easy wins. But then they do play the Chiefs, the Chargers. They play some tougher teams down the stretch.
So, if we can take care of business and win at least 3 of these last 5 games, I think we might get a home field advantage here.
Yeah.
But
A home field game or a bye?
I think you need 4 out of 5
one.
for that.
You
The
think
Commanders
4
is
out
the
of
other
5?
cupcake team.
So they have
All
3
right.
cupcakes and 2 tough games.
So they have the
it's like
Commanders.
Patriots.
They have the Commanders, the Raiders, but then they play the Packers, the Jags, the Chiefs,
Oh, so they
and
have
the Chargers.
3 tough games.
4 tough games and 2 cupcakes.
Who's the
Jags
4th
where?
one?
Packers,
Oh.
Jags, Chiefs,
3
Chargers.
3 tough games.
yeah.
What do you mean 3 tough games?
Yeah, so I don't know how good the Chargers are going to be at that point. Who knows what Jacksonville's going to be like? On our side, who knows what Baltimore's going to be like? They don't look like world beaters. And Jackson's like he's hurt again.
Yeah, I know it's
Yeah.
conventional wisdom now that Baltimore stinks. So I'm not worried about that game anymore. That's what I heard this morning.
Oh, that's
I'm
I
on the
heard that
radio.
too. I heard that
on the
too.
radio. I know you guys are gonna make fun of me. I'm always worried about. I'm
worried about every
definitely
game.
afraid of that game.
Oh yeah, I'm worried about the Giants game this
I'm
week.
Not. I'm not worried about.
You're not
that
worried about it?
one. No.
You don't think there's any way they can lose this game?
Well, there's always a way you can lose a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could turn the ball over 5 times.
I'm
and
worried
lose.
Did you think there was a way they lose to Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you were more worried about Cincinnati than the Giants?
Significantly more.
Interesting.
Not me.
Yeah. I mean, I respect Cincinnati's talent. I don't think the Giants.
Yeah, but none of it was on the field.
What little talent? Well, ultimately, when the game ended, that was true, and that was like largely the difference. But I think that if you have T. Higgins out there and Joe Flacco gets hot, now Joe Flacco didn't get hot. He didn't have one of his games, but I respect his ability to do that. I don't really respect the Giants' ability with a 2-10 record to really do anything.
But the Giants have been scoring points, right?
Well, they did last week.
And losing leads.
They've blown a lot of leads. That is correct. 5 times,
and
2-score leads in the fourth quarter.
They got
That's
rid-
an amazing stat.
Yeah, it ties an NFL.
They got
record.
rid of
an
their
amazing stat.
defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So did they get that interim defensive coordinator
I don't know
bump?
if that's a thing.
Is what I'm wondering.
I don't know if that's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can lose any game in the league. I'm not telling you. There's not a huge difference in
Well, what
talent.
about the spot?
The good and bad.
You've
Well,
played
it's a great spot for the
You've
Patriots.
played 13 games in a row.
So have
You
they.
got the bye ahead. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
And you're home and they're not.
I know.
So you have the advantage. It's a good spot for you.
I don't know. I'd like to get other opinions on that.
The piece for me is Winston going to play or is it going to be Dart? That's what I
What
don't
would you
think we
rather
know.
face if you're the Patriots?
Oh, Winston,
Me too.
100 times over.
Really?
I know him.
I don't know. I was leaning Dart, to be honest, before you
Really?
guys both
See,
said
Dart
that.
can run around, make plays, and you never know. He might have one of those wild games where he makes some plays with his feet, and all of a sudden he's in it. Jameis Winston's going to give you 3 or 4 opportunities every game. You know that. That's his history. I don't know what Dart's going to do because I don't know enough
I mean, they
about
also
him.
scored 14 points on 2 trick plays
Correct.
against the Lions. I'm with you guys. I watched Dart. Was it the Bears game? Was his last game? I think
Yeah.
before he got hurt.
Yeah.
I was pretty impressed.
I watched that one too.
He's played pretty well.
Now a lot of it is quarterback run stuff, and he's not going to last.
That's why he's constantly in concussion
Right.
protocol.
So that's maybe that gets taken off the table when he comes back from this concussion, and that limits them. I mean, they're running like QB counter, and like they're like running him by design. And I don't think he's
agree.
going to be able to hold up. But his like play extension, his ability, his downfield, passing, pretty good,
Yeah.
pretty good.
So, I agree. I think I'd rather have Jameis Winston. But getting back to my opening monologue, I think that this is a tough stretch here for the team in terms of injuries and just, getting to the end of the season. But I do think that this team mentally is equipped to handle that. This is a united team. And, one of your guys, Deuce,
I have guys?
Ben Volen,
Oh, yeah.
mentioned
Definitely my
that in the post game locker room, it seemed that Vrabel was really toned down. Like, I think he forgets they had just got off a FaceTime call with a teammate who was going through something, and they had a lot of injuries. They know they didn't play their best, and so I think Vrabel had the right tone, and I think the players want more. They expect more, but I think they're all in this together. I think they're bought into Vrabel. They're calling, they call him Coach Vrabes. Carlton Davis, I think he had a quote just recently. He said he's never been on a team that seemed more together than this team. I like that aspect of this of the Patriots, and I really look at that as a plus going forward.
So we have the power of friendship.
No, camaraderie.
I'm with Fred.
Yeah.
I think that's the number one thing they have going for them. I think they're very connected.
Yeah.
The team is very connected, and I think sometimes that can make up for some personnel issues here or there. We'll see. I'm with Fred. I think Josh McDaniels and Doug Marrone will do a good job scheming their way around this. This is not ideal. I'm not telling you that it's not a big deal to lose your left tackle and your left guard, and you're probably going to be without them for at least I'm going to say a month.
Mm-hmm.
That's not ideal. I'm not pretending that that's not an issue. I just have confidence that they'll figure out a way around it.
Yeah, and to your point, Paul, the coaching this year is
much-
better.
much
It's better
more equipped.
set up to to handle that than last year.
That's what interests me. I mean, with Brian Burns coming in, and also Abdul Carter, who half sack but active and disruptive. Don't think Thibodeau's going to play, but they've got some players off the edge, so
Brian
they're
Burns
going
has
to
been
do
good.
everything they can
Ev
to challenge.
talked about him a little off air this morning, and Evan, you want probably talk more about him than us. He's a really good player.
Yeah.
Yeah, him, Dexter Lawrence is one of my favorites.
Well, Dexter Lawrence will be on the sideline.
Sexy
'cause that's
Dexy.
where he is when games are being played, which is
Oh,
why
I-
Shane Bowen no longer has a job.
Yeah, I got that from our friend Don
Oh,
before my.
you don't want to talk to Don
I
about
wonder if
the
that. I mean, I know Dexter Lawrence is a crazy player, but seeing not Godshaw, but like the old defense, they wanted a big guy inside. Shane Bowen there with interior penetrator kind of types. Is that is he not really their type? I don't know. I'm just speculating.
That's worked well.
Yeah.
I think he's their type. He's even though he's a big dude, he plays more uphill. He's more of a disruptor, more of an uphill vertical threat. I don't think that this is plugging gaps.
Whatever the teams are doing in the fourth quarter to the Giants, the Patriots should do in the first quarter and keep doing it.
the ball.
Run the ball.
And
Yeah,
keep doing
they
it.
are just getting absolutely shredded on the ground. Now, I'll play devil's advocate because you guys are, trying to.
the dang ball.
But the injuries the Patriots have is a problem, and I understand this is a great chemistry, great locker room, but at the same time, watching their defensive front without Milton Williams against the Bengals was a hard watch. Like they just did not make very many plays in the other side of the backfield. They didn't make very many plays up front. They got run on by Cincinnati, who hasn't really run the ball at all year. Chase Brown had over 100 rushing yards. It was a problem, and I think offensively, I agree that they can probably work around it a little bit. But at the same time, no disrespect meant to them, but Vidarian Lower and Ben Brown were two guys that they tried to upgrade from this offseason in the draft with Campbell and Wilson. The idea was not to rely on those players like you did when you won 4 games the year before.
Sure.
So I think a huge part of what has happened here, along with Drake May and Vrabel and all the stuff you guys mentioned, is the improvement that the trenches have shown this season to last season. They are a significantly better team on the line of scrimmage this year than they were last year. Significantly better, just across the board, whether it's pass blocking, run blocking, pass rush, run stuffing, all of it. And, I know maybe I'm a little bit more on that side of the street than other people, but that's football. Like, when you have good football teams, don't usually have bad play in the trenches. It's not that it never happens. I know Patrick Mahomes went to the Super Bowl without his left tackle. I know, but it's asking a lot. It's asking a lot for Drake May in his second season to now still play at this level without his starting left tackle. Like left guard, I think that they can get away with. Ben Brown's not, he's a serviceable backup, and I think that they could work around it. I do think the drop off from Will Campbell to their backups at left tackle is going to be significant.
Yep.
And it's more just like a knock to the bigger picture, honestly, of where this team could possibly go in the postseason.
Yeah.
If they don't have these guys back healthy and they're not, tied together, once the postseason comes around, it does limit their ceiling quite a bit.
Yeah, I hear all that. I mean, I think for me,
That's
the
all
focus
fair.
is
Yeah.
just get through this game. Get through this game, have a week off, see what your health looks like when you get back and you have to go play Buffalo. But
Well, they're not going
I
to
get
have
it.
Milton Williams like that. He's going to be on IR for Buffalo and Baltimore. And, in this game against Cincinnati, like the Bengals averaged 3 yards rushing before contact, like before anybody even hit them. They're averaging 3 yards. So if you're doing that against Buffalo and Baltimore and James Cook and Derrick Henry, like that's going to be really tough.
not good. Not good, Bob.
Really tough. And
Matt, can I get some water?
I kind of look at the offensive line and think that they can probably maybe figure it
I don't
out.
like the screens. In the, you can't
But
see us.
defensive line, I have concerns about that. Guys like Farms and Gregory and Durden, those guys playing as much as they're going to have to play is a little bit concerning.
Tonga, too. I mean, that's, what's up with him?
Yeah, Mike and I talked a little bit in the pregame show about that because you get specifically Durden and Gregory. Those are guys, Durden especially, sort of carved out a little bit of a role, right?
Yeah.
He's played, 10 snaps a game, let's call it. I don't know what the actual number
Probably
is,
around
but
15, 20.
he's been reasonably disruptive.
Yep.
But now you're asking him to maybe take on a larger role.
Okay.
Can he continue to be disruptive?
Exactly.
And, I'm not telling you, I agree with you. I think bringing up Tonga is significant because it's not just, I think Tonga's job is to be a run stuffer, a space-eating run stuffer.
Yeah.
I don't really think of Milton Williams and Christian Barmore, as talented as they are, they're fine against the run. And Milton Williams has been excellent all season long in whatever they've asked him to do. But I don't think they're necessarily run-stuffing players. Tonga is. So he came out of the game. I think Chase Brown's pretty good, too, even though they haven't really run the ball all that much. You saw in this game, they ran it probably a little bit better. But he's averaged a healthy amount, and that's 3 games in a row the opponent's averaged over 5 yards a carry.
And you said, Evan, before the game that they were throwing the ball 70% of the time.
Yeah.
They didn't this game.
Yeah, because they're effectively running it. And, I just...
Flacco was hurt.
To give it to their credit, though, to the Bengals, they saw that the Patriots were down Milton Williams already. Then Tonga goes out of the game. And what were they doing? They were just running it right up the gut at the backups on the interior defensive line. So I give those guys credit. I think that this was a pretty well-coached game by the Bengals. I thought that defensively they were pretty buttoned up, relatively speaking, to what they have been in the past. And I thought offensively they hit the buttons there. The Patriots were weaker. But I just... Going into the season, the big question that we all had was, yes, the talent on the roster is better. Is the depth better and good enough to withstand injuries?
Yep.
And we haven't really, luckily, needed to figure that out. And now we're going to figure that out. Do they have the depth? Do they have those players behind their frontline players that can keep this thing rolling?
And can the coaches get those guys to play up to snuff? And I think that's been one of the indictments the last few years of play along the offensive line is that they don't really have the coaching. Like, if I'm looking at something I'm interested to watch, it's how does now this coaching staff deal with really the first kind of scramble drill that they're going to have to do. I mean, losing Milton Williams is one thing, of course, great player inside, but it's one player. You've got depth. But now when you've got 2 offensive linemen that you're going to have to put in, you're going to have to maybe give some of those guys help. You know, these are the things where I think you really get a sense of, I mean, Paul said a great thing. I think Mike Vrabel's done an amazing job bringing this team together and really being that, fulcrum in the middle of all these guys. But now you've got to really coach your butt off and get these guys to I mean, this is something that Bill got plenty of credit with over the years when guys had to step up, the Randall Gaze of the year, like those, instances where it happens in the NFL. Buffalo's going to have a bunch of injuries in a couple weeks too. I mean, we saw half their team went down the other night. So, you get down to this point, and I don't know, maybe I'm just out of practice with having a good team down the stretch, but like, did you guys feel at times with those Patriots teams that you knew were going to the playoffs, like, they're not playing their best ball right now. They seem banged up. They seem like they're kind of like the 07 team. I remember them just kind of tailing off. Like they weren't the same team anymore.
Well,
and that's
but all the
to do
teams
with
that I remember that had that happen to lost. And I'm not like trying to be doom and gloom, but the only team that I remember that flipped the switch was 18.
18.
Yeah.
That's the only one of the 6 Super Bowl teams that wasn't peaking at the end of the year, and somehow they found it.
And is this just a part that many teams go through where, late by, et cetera, but, you have a little bit of a doldrum in the middle of the season? That's something common. Are they going to get it back?
Late in the season, or do they not play that well in Cincinnati? That's the thing I think we're going to have to learn.
Yeah.
Because I don't think this game was indicative of the way they've played, say, the last 6. I don't. I think they played much, I don't want to say worse, because that makes it sound like they played a crappy game. Because I think everything Evan said about Cincinnati deserves to be said. I think Cincinnati showed up, played with some desperation, and I do think they were prepared on both sides. I think the difference in the game, quite frankly, was Mike Vrabel's game management compared to Zach Taylor's. Zach Taylor consistently passed up opportunities to score points by punting, and Mike Vrabel didn't get stubborn after the first time didn't work out down there. He took the points after that and ended up. Dan Campbell would have lost that game because Dan Campbell would have just. I mean, maybe they would have been so much better that Jahmyr Gibbs would have scored.
Yeah,
but he would have just kept going for it.
Yeah, but going up by 10 was important.
I think the one that he did, the one to go up by 7, I think was important. When it was 17-13, and after the first debacle down there, he got down there again. And I don't even think was it Henderson that got the 3rd down carry that time that got stopped?
No,
I forget.
He got the 2nd down carry.
It might have been Terrell I forget. But
Drake sneaked it on 3rd down.
Vrabel had 3 fingers in his hands before the whistle even blew on the play. He was disgusted, but he said, "No, I'm going to make this a 7-point game, and I'm going to make sure that they're chasing me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, throw good money after bad or whatever the phrase is." And continue to bang my head against the wall. He adjusted to the game. Zach Taylor didn't. And again, I give Zach Taylor credit for having his team ready to go. A 3-7 team played, probably a little bit better defensively than they have most of the year. But I'm sorry, you can't punt on 4th and 1 every time and 4th and 3, in the 4th quarter and just say, well, we're just going to keep getting the ball back. At some point, you got to go and try to make a play. And if you don't, you still got to get the stop. There's no difference.
Is this the first game in a while that they've won it by just a score?
What does that mean?
Like, less than 8 points?
God,
one
no.
score game.
Most of their games have been 1-score games.
Really? I thought they were.
This is what I'm saying. I think people have this impression, and I don't mean this negatively. I mean this as a huge positive for the Patriots because everything Fred said about the togetherness, totally co-signing with Freddie on this. I think they win these games, and people are like, yeah, they won, but like they're not playing that well. I'm like, I don't know what you
they're
think
looking
that
for perfection.
I don't know what you think they're capable of.
Yeah.
That's what I would argue. But the outliers are Carolina and Cleveland. The normal game is Atlanta, New Orleans, Tampa. This game against Cincinnati, even the Jets. I know the Jets ended up a 13-point game. We watched that game. It wasn't a blowout.
Yep. But they won by 13 points.
No, I know, but that was one of the few. That was one of the 4 games that weren't decided by 1 score. All the rest were 1-score games.
4 games weren't decided.
Is that ChatGPT? You got that?
No, it's
No, that's
Microsoft
schedule.
Copilot.
Like
Right.
the outliers are Carolina, Tennessee, and Cleveland. You know, the norm is a one-score game.
Yeah, like
And they're 7-1 in those one-score games.
I'm less concerned about how they played on Sunday in that game,
Two
and
losses.
and more concerned about moving forward without Milton Williams and Campbell. Like, if I had to rank the players on this team outside of Drake May, who's obvious, like, you know, it's like the old Jenga piece thing. Like, if I had to play like who has the biggest blocks that are keeping the tower afloat, like Campbell and Milton Williams have two of the biggest blocks. Like, I think those two guys, because I think for Campbell specifically, it's what's behind him at left tackle too that you have to take into consideration. But with Milton Williams, I think he's been your best player on defense, and it was noticeable. You know, their front was noticeably worse without him.
They're going to
in
have
this
to
game.
figure that out. That's a big loss. You
Yeah,
don't just
yeah.
replace him.
I'm not whistling past the graveyard pretending there's no issues. They have some issues. I just feel like they're going to be able to get past them.
Right, but it's not about how this game unfolded in Cincinnati.
Right.
It's about
Right.
you have Buffalo, you have Baltimore, you have playoff games coming up, and that's a whole different ball game once you get into those types of level of competition.
I agree.
Than playing a banged up Bengals team. And if they don't have Campbell and they don't have Milton Williams, like those two guys and probably Diggs and Gonzalez would be like the four most important players on the team outside of May. And they're playing without two of them. So like it's a big loss not having those guys for the bigger picture. Like I still think they're going to beat the Giants and the Jets, and they're probably going to still end up with 12 or 13 wins, and that's nothing to sniff at.
Maybe the division title too, you
Right.
know?
And Fred might be right.
and maybe Milton Williams and Will Campbell are back.
And 3 might get you that 1 seed. Fred might be right, because I didn't know about that Green Bay game for Denver. I knew like they had some division games coming, but that Green Bay game as the odd game, that could mean that Denver loses twice. So if you lose twice,
It's probably in Denver
we'll
too.
see.
I'm guessing, right?
Well, I think the final 5 are in Denver.
Yeah. So I mean,
That's how they give it to him.
I don't know.
unbelievable.
I don't know what the tiebreaker situation will look like. It depends on what games the teams lose. But it is amazing that all the games, 15 out of 17 games at home for Denver. I mean,
And even when they're not home, they're at home. It's I don't know how they do it.
They raised the stadium a mile in the air.
yeah, they're able to play at mile-high altitude, even on the road somehow. I don't know.
It's amazing. Anyway, all right. So we have calls, we have emails. 855-PATS-500 is the hotline. Podcast at patriots.com is the email address. Most people on the blog this year, this season, for this game. But I had to regulate at one point. People were literally, I mean, it's words, so you don't really know like how they're feeling, but just from the tone of the words, people were getting angry at the Patriots. And at some point, I just had to regulate. And I had to, people, why are you angry? Like, okay, be frustrated, whatever, but like, we're 1 or 2 years ahead of schedule. We got a young quarterback. They're not playing that great. They have these injuries, but why the anger? And then the other thing is, I'm embarrassed. Why are you embarrassed? Are they going to? Are you back in 3rd grade and they pull down your pants on the day you forgot to wear underwear? Like, why are you embarrassed?
Seemed oddly specific.
You know, like.
I mean,
no, it didn't happen to me.
Those
exactly
things are,
like that.
Those things are exaggerations, but the goalposts have moved. Like
they should, but it's not embarrassing to you.
It's not embarrassing to you.
It's not embarrassing to anybody.
But
like,
the amount of times I hear
the game on Sunday was not embarrassing in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, go back and read the comments.
To the team, to the coaches, nobody.
But the anger is, I think
they know
that's good. I think that's a good sign because of what Evan's saying. The goalposts have moved.
They know what it looks like when it's championship caliber. And this team, I don't know if they're championship caliber yet, but they've put themselves in a position to be playing for a championship.
So what team, at least in the AFC,
why
is
do you
playing
care about other
championship?
teams?
Because we're going to play one of them.
But we're only caring about our team. I
know.
understand why the blog people are upset. They want to play better.
I understand, but no one's playing that great. It's just kind of the way the AFC is this year. And of those teams, we're the best. We're the best.
Do you think you're playing the best?
Of all the teams, yeah.
Okay. I think that some of the fans would disagree with you.
Yeah. I mean, game to game, other teams might have had better games, but I think the body of work, we've been the best team this year.
But whether it's the AFC or if we're going to care to dream and it's whoever they play in the Super Bowl, you are going to play a great team at some point.
Really?
Yes, you're going to play a great team at some point.
Okay.
You're going to play a great team, and you're going to play a great quarterback, and you're like, these things are going to happen. And you're not going to go. It's not going to be the march of the tomato cans all the way to the 7th Lombardi, right? Like they're going to at some point they're going to have to play, a formidable opponent that is, going to be up for the challenge. And fans, to their credit around here, they know what it looks like when the team is playing.
I just don't understand the anger. Like, it's like, oh man, we need to play better. I get that, but like angry, like sell the team,
especially after last year.
Okay,
well,
I don't
all these
understand that.
things
You had this rant last year when they were on a 4-win season.
I don't
saying
mind
the thing
the
about
anger.
being
The
embarrassed about like
embarrassment.
4 wins, all right. Like sometimes there was some bad football being played. I mean, I get generally you shouldn't be embarrassed about the
embarrassment,
team
I
you
don't
root for.
get.
Yeah, like why are you embarrassed?
No, that's
I can't even wear my Patriots stuff. People make fun of me.
They make fun of me. Oh.
Really?
Great game last week.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
you're traveling around the greater Boston area with Patriots gear on. You're getting mocked and ridiculed for it.
I'll tell you, if you're walking around with
Nice
rivalry gear, you might get like proposition to sell it on the spot.
I know.
Seriously,
Orders are going out.
They were going to offer me money for my jacket.
Evan almost
Yeah.
black marketed his jacket on the
Can you direct me in this way?
Where did you get that? I was like,
Can I get a tuition payment out of this? What do we got?
And they were like, oh, I've been trying to get one. They're sold out everywhere. My son, he really wants one. And I just found myself like kind of, walking away. Like,
That's funny.
She's gonna set it on fire.
yeah.
Yeah, my wife got the same thing. Someone going, where can I get this rivalry stuff? I need it for a Christmas present.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yep, they certainly
Good luck.
created demand for that one. All right, so let's get to the
It's got me
phones.
being all
Let's see what everyone says. I hope you're not angry,
Todd won't.
and
be
I hope
angry.
you're not embarrassed.
Todd actually
Todd won't be angry.
was one of the few that had this game nailed. He
All right.
thought this was going to
Well,
be
he
a tough
says that
game.
every
I thought
week.
they were gonna lose.
He thought they were going to lose.
Todd's in North Carolina. What's up, Todd?
Hey guys, I'm sober now, Fred. Just so you know, I took the time and composed myself before I made the call, so I wouldn't be angry or drunk or a little crazy. So what I saw in that game, and what I think was bothering me, and I couldn't really articulate it. Thanks, Paul, for defending me a little bit. I appreciate that, and I appreciated the poke there by you, Fred. That was good too. But what's bothering me is this team looks tired. I think maybe we've got some veterans who are pretty much up there in age, and we've got some young guys who might be hitting the rookie wall. And I had to make sure that the rookie wall exists. I went and researched it. It does exist. These guys, they hit that wall. They're not used to this level of games, and maybe that even contributed a little bit to the injuries. I'm not sure, but they look tired. I don't know
They could be.
why or how they can deal with that. It's probably because this bye is so dang late that it's too hard on them a little bit right now, the way the team's composed, because it's been that combination of veterans and youth that I think has made this team so good. And right now, I don't know, I almost want to say play your backups for the Giants. Take a loss. Play your backups, take the loss, and just give yourself that.
We're in a
extended
playoff
time to
race.
Todd, you can't.
Todd, you can't do that.
Every game is critical, Todd.
I actually don't think they looked that tired.
Thanks, Todd.
Playing in this game. I don't. I actually thought that their energy pregame and on the sideline, just being there, was really good. And I remember at one point looking at the Patriots side of the field in warmups, and then looking at the Bengals side of the field in warmups. And one team was doing its thing and doing what the Patriots do, and Diggs is breaking down the huddle and all this kind of stuff. And then the other team on the other side of the field is kind of just like going through the motions. And I was like, well, I remember what it was like to be on the other side of the field in these games. It's a late bye week, and that's obvious to everybody. But I don't think, kind of the struggles that happened on Sunday, I don't think that was due to fatigue.
Okay.
I don't.
Vinny's in Vegas. What's up, Vinny?
Hey, guys. How's it going? Hear me okay?
Yep.
I am not angry or embarrassed.
Good.
But I was a little worried at the beginning of the game, though. I think that, we're starting to really see how dependent we are on Drake, because he just didn't look good. Though I was like, holy crap, this is not what's going on. And I think at this point we're starting to notice that if he doesn't have the superstar at that moment, the games are going to be tough. I mean, they're going to be a slug, at times. And then the other thing, I'm surprised actually that this is the first game that I saw Carlton Davis play and actually show, what he was doing. So I'm happy about that part, but I do think that we're very reliant on Drake, and when he doesn't have it together right away, we're going to struggle.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I mean, the team will go as far as Drake will take them. They don't have a dominant offensive line. They have a much better offensive line than they had last year, but it's not dominant. That shows in the run game. So it is up to Drake.
Yeah.
It is up to Drake.
Yeah, now that they're banged up too. I mean,
And I would agree on Carlton Davis. I thought he was really good in the game, and I thought it was his best game.
Yeah, that DPI stunk. That was
Oh, the one where Higgins got hurt?
He was really mad.
Yeah, that was a tough call. Like, you have two really physical players, like, jockeying for positioning down the field, and, like, I didn't think he grabbed or anything. I think they were just kind of
it's like the arm up the back got him.
Yeah, I don't remember being up in arms on the flag. Like, he sort of was on top of him before the ball got there. So
I wouldn't say up in arms. I just like if you have two guys that are physical players, that they're heavyweights, and
I hear you.
Going.
I thought he got there early.
Like,
I'm with Fred, but I could see I actually teed him up in the post game. He was our guest in the post game show, and I asked him about it, and I saw his face.
Yeah, in the locker
room, and I knew how upset he was about it, and I was like, I stopped and I said, talk about it. It's just like one of those terrible journalism questions, but his face told the whole story. I know why they called the penalty, and I think that's going to be – it's kind of like the offensive interference on Matt Collins. Like when a defensive back gets pinballed like that, like that's going to be a penalty, whether or not that was an intent or whatever. He got there a little early on that deep ball, but I think it was really, really good coverage.
Yeah.
Really good coverage.
Yeah, his he took away Flacco's primary read on the pick six too. He was covering Higgins on that play, and he took Higgins out of the play, and Flacco went from the deep route to the check down through right to Marcus Jones. So
one of the more laughable plays I've ever seen.
I saw it coming. I was like, no, Joe.
You know how you said like you throw high over the middle and it's going to go that way. Well, you throw late to the flat in the NFL, and that's what's going to happen too.
Yeah, he was really good. Carlton Davis was in this game.
What about Gonzo?
What? Why did you have to do that?
Well, I didn't love the touchdown he gave up. I mean,
no, he got beat right off the.
I would say, and check me if I'm wrong, but I feel like he was part of the plan that didn't give up a lot to T. Higgins. But I also just was like, he just got beat off the line by who?
Tinsley.
Now, in his defense, it's the first touchdown he's given up all year.
Okay.
And Tinsley that is the one route Tinsley can run. It's the one route that he's actually decent at. A couple weeks earlier, he beat. Who was it?
For his other
Darrell Revan.
For his other catch?
He beat somebody on the same route. Same release.
Patrick Surtain.
Yeah.
You guys are whispering by the fact that the left tackle and the DT are out for an extended period of time, but Gonzo gives up one catch, and we got,
we're just saying he got beat.
I believe I specifically said I'm not whistling past the graveyard with the losses, but now you're like the other teams. You got to deal with some of your personnel being out of the lineup.
Yep.
I don't think they're ready for it.
Eldred's in North Carolina. What's up, Eldred?
There it is.
Hey, fellas, how y'all doing?
All right.
I shouldn't have did that because, hey, Paul, I'm leaving our favorite spot, Myrtle Beach.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
I'm on 501 right now, heading back out.
Oh, the 501.
You hauling umbrellas?
Talking the lingo.
No, I brought something for Hobby Lobby. They opened up a new Hobby Lobby down here.
Okay.
Oh, crafts.
And they're expanding, yeah.
All right.
So, no, I'm not embarrassed. I'm a little worried. And, Fred, I'm with you. I'm worried about the Giants a little bit because they held the Lions for a little bit, and they scored 27 points on them.
Yep.
Until, 8 minutes of the fourth quarter?
Yep.
Then that's when that game got away from them. And they looked pretty good, Like I said, what keeps bothering me is the line a little bit and the defense, the secondary, the way they're giving up. And I know Paul and Evan just said Gonzo, one. But, Evan, I done seen A.D. Mitchell beat him off, and I done seen Tinsley. Well, y'all want to call them nobody, but, hey, he got burnt twice. And that's kind of worrying. I don't know if he played down to their competition or up. And one more thing, and I let it go. I heard Bertrand and Zolak to my offensive line. It's been like in the lower 20s and 26 on DOAs or whatever, on pass rush and on pressures.
Yep. Dead on arrival?
I want to hit it off the line, yeah, because we can't run. So I'm just wondering. And I take it off the air.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eldred.
Yeah, I mean, the run game has been all year long.
Yeah.
And it's not a line that's necessarily built, I don't think, that way. You know, I do think they have more athletic.
I think we all, though, thought that they'd be a little bit better a running team than they are.
Yeah, certainly.
I did. Yeah,
I just said they've been all year.
Yeah.
But the coverage I thought in this game was pretty good. This was probably one of their better games as a secondary. I thought it was fine. I mean, the pressure on Flacco and the run defense were the bigger issues.
I don't really have a huge amount of problems with the defense in this game in general. I know that the run yards were there. You know what I think of run yards.
Yeah.
Generally, they don't lead to points. But I'm not telling you you should, like, I'll give you like an example of what bothered me in terms of run defense. After they got stopped on the 1 yard line. Okay, so you got them backed up on the 1 yard line, and one run.
Yep.
Chase Brown gets a
Up to
first
the
down,
15.
and
Right
they're out of jail. Like, that can't happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And they did lose, I thought, the perimeter a lot in that game.
Yeah.
3 or 4 times he got easy yards.
Chase on and Ponder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think the one back off the goal line, they tried to slant, they tried to like run a stunt, and they caught him in the slant and the stunt. And like when you have guys, early on in the season that are getting all these reps together and are building those chemistries and things like that, and it's all the same 5, 6, 7 guys doing it, and now all of a sudden you look out there and it's like, Corey Durden and Eric Gregory and
Elijah Ponder.
Yeah, just different
to Mike's
guys.
point.
It's not necessarily about the talent. It's just, when you're trying to pull off these schemes, like it, is harder to do when you don't have those reps together built up over a period of time. In terms of the pass rush, defensively, until the last drive where they had to pass the ball, they only had a 15% pressure rate. I only had them at 14.8%. They had 4 pressures the whole rest of the game. And now, once they got into that final drive, they started to heat them up and things like that.
Did you think that they played coverage, though, for the most part? Because I agree with you. I didn't see a lot of missed opportunities in the game. I thought they covered really well. It's hard on TV sometimes to see all that, but
If you watch all 22, you can see it all.
I have no interest
You
in
can see the whole field.
in watching a game
See
because
the safety's depth.
everybody will tell me what I'm supposed to know anyway. So we can move on.
Yeah, no, I don't think
It's all the more reason to see it for yourself if you don't trust
I
them.
saw it.
Okay.
they blitzed a little bit.
You know,
but
I'm
not
pretty.
saw enough.
You know, I'm pretty confident. Like I saw the game. I have my opinion.
All right. I see my food. I'm going to eat it. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, more calls and emails here in Patriots Unfiltered.
Whether you're in the game or betting on the game, you'll need a game plan. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the New England Patriots, provides you with everything you need to build your personal betting game plan so you can get in on all the action while practicing safe bets. Visit DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming to learn more about all the safe betting tools DraftKings has to offer. Hope is here, 800-327-5050 or gamblinghelplinema.org. Must be 21 plus. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com. Physically present in Massachusetts. See DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources.
Isn't it time to get exactly what you want? Welcome to Red Hot Deal Days from Verizon, where you get your pick of our best deals. Like My Plan, where you can pick the perks you want and save on every one. For limited time, bring your own phones to a Verizon store and you can get My Plan for our best price ever. Get exactly what you want in your phone plan and only pay for what you need. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get My Plan. These deals won't last. It's your Verizon.
With FedEx One Rate, you can ship to your student for a simple, predictable flat rate. Send a box full of home-baked treats that say, "Your father and I miss you." Or send a box full of instant noodles that says, "Your father and I would like you to stop asking us for money." Either way, one rate fits all. FedEx One Rate. 2-day shipping, one flat rate. Starting at $14.50. Visit FedEx.com/one-rate for details. Exclusions apply.
If you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right.
DraftKings is all about responsible gaming. It's more fun when it's for fun. So play responsibly. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction.
Hi. Morning. Morning. Good morning. guys are supposed to say good morning.
How are you doing?
Great. Okay, who's up?
I heard you say on the radio that Will could probably miss multiple games. We saw Vidarian on the left on Sunday and Marcus Bryant on the right. Do you expect to continue to use Vidarian? Would you also consider Marcus? How do you think you'll navigate that?
I don't know if I would have an accurate answer for you right now, just where we're at. Probably go through, the week of practice. I thought Vidarian, had a couple good plays, and again, he hasn't had to go in there for us, but I think everybody just has to be ready for their opportunity, and I thought he was for the most part. There's some things we'll have to continue to work on and clean up, but I just right now it's probably a little too soon to figure out what the lineup's going to look like.
I don't know if he's had a chance to undergo any testing or anything, but is there anything more you can tell us about Will's injury this morning?
No, I mean he won't be out there this week, and it's going to be a couple weeks. We'll have to make a decision here on a roster, see how long that'll be, and go from there. But it's nothing that's going to, hopefully put him out for the entire season.
Jared?
Probably too soon to tell. See how the week of practice goes, or see how the rehab goes, and see how he responds there.
After yesterday's game, you said something along the lines, I'm paraphrasing, so tell me if I get this wrong.
Good, because I probably didn't mean it either.
Okay. No, about how the team, both the players and the coaching staff, needing to recover faster from things that don't go your way in game. For coaches, and mainly for yourself individually, what does that look like?
Well, it's just setting the temperature. I mean, I have to set the temperature for what we do and make sure that everybody is that we understand things change quickly, and that everybody has to be on the ready. We go through different lineup changes, and personnel groups are up, personnel groups are down, field goal protection has got moving parts, and we're using 15 guys on a field goal protection throughout the course of the game. That's normally doesn't happen. And then just understand that, if we give up an interception, and again, how we come back and respond. We had a scoring drive. Defense kept us in there. Special teams, gave us some opportunities. We had a good return there at the end of the game when we needed it. Able to get points. Wasn't a touchdown drive, but it was a huge drive that took some time, and then allowed Andy to kick a field goal to make it a touchdown game. And I think that you can all see that, when we've gotten into those situations when they've needed a touchdown at the end of the game as opposed to a field goal, that we've been able to get the drive stop. And it's, however pretty or not pretty it is, whether it's in Miami or that game yesterday, 6 points and 3 points is a big difference.
Referencing something else you said last night, does being undefeated on the road fall into the category of records and numbers don't mean bleep, or?
Go ahead, say it, let it go, it feels good. Just say it, let it go, it feels good.
Or does that tell you anything about your team?
Again, I think that they found a way to win, and I'm proud of them, and there's a lot more that we can do. And then we can play better, we can play with better details. But in the end, they found a way to win, and that's not easy to do in the league that we're in. So we'll have to kind of keep that fine balance of understanding that wins are important, but improving at this time of the year is what's most important.
What did you see from Ben when you started for Jared?
He was ready to go, but had a few plays. Again, they all do. Everybody does. Thought he was ready to go. I thought he was into it. Ben gives us a great effort, and he was prepared for the opportunity.
I was curious your reaction about Shane's fire as well.
Well, Shane's a close friend, so we started in this business together at Ohio State. Shane's a good football coach. This business is, again, things happen. They make decisions. So I'll support Shane the best that I can and his family, but then also, focus on everything that we have here. So that's kind of how this thing goes.
How's Terrell doing?
I'd say he's continuing to improve, from a health standpoint, and again, it's a process in the treatment, but I would say that he did everything that he could to get himself ready for the treatment, for the chemo, and so therefore I think that he's responded well, and it's good to see him continuing to have good weeks and then come in and see us when he feels up to it, which he has.
Mike, it seems obvious if there were receivers missing, how a quarterback would have to adjust based on the replacements, speed, height, whatever. When an offensive lineman is missing, what do quarterbacks have to be aware of that maybe we don't see, or people that haven't been in the trench like that? How do they change with different offensive linemen with them?
Well, I mean, just making sure that the communication is good and that everybody's on the same page, and then how, that you can, there are matchups that you need to help. I mean, assuming that, there's a player that's not a starter that then goes in there. And again, are there matchups that you have to be aware of and be able to allocate resources to, for protection and things like that.
Mike, I'm sure there are a lot of details that go into some of those goal line plays that you guys had offensively. I'm curious if there was anything more that maybe Drake could have done in those moments.
There was more that I think we all could have done. And, you get into, the ball's on the inside the 5-yard line, and you have to figure out how, if you're going to go big people and big personnel, and we were out of that. And then you get into some other personnels, and you either have to, you can't block them all, or you got to read somebody and make decisions down there. And so, it just seemed like whether we were really close yesterday, whether that's pushing Travion in or Hunter scoring, we had the cross and they Matt kind of gets ping-ponged into the guy, and I don't think he was trying to pick him. That's not what we teach, but that's, what they saw, and it's going to get called. I'm not saying that it's not. But you have to be at your best down there. They are. They're blitzing. They're going to try to put some pressure on you and make some tough decisions, and so we all have to be better down there, whether we're in the goal line personnel or we're in 11 personnel.
How did you feel the offense responded in some of the blitz situations? Looked like the sack. Was there anything that maybe could have avoided that one with the corner coming out of the slot?
Yeah, probably. I mean, again, the way that the protection was, you just have to get rid of it and dirt it and put it at the guy's feet. But I think at that point in time, with the way the protection went and what he felt like, getting 5 guys out, that we probably should have just got rid of the ball. But we, didn't make one mistake into another. We took a sack and were able to get some yards on the next play and kick a field goal. So there's going to be things like that happen in the game. Hopefully we can learn from them.
Can we add Kyrus in the same question? Any update on him? He's so disappointed. He felt like he let his guys down, not being able to finish there.
Olga's never going to let anybody down as long as he's here. And these guys want to go, and I have to look at them, and I got to figure out if they can, and if they can protect themselves and they can do their job and not make it any worse. And he clearly, from what I saw, wasn't going to be able to do most of those things. And so we'll just see how he progresses through the week.
Obviously, you want to respect the privacy of the situation, but an update on Jelani.
I don't. I think that, you can see that the players in this team and everybody associated with it, the organization, care deeply about him. But, respect to his privacy, and so we'll leave it at that.
Adding to.
And now, great moments in history.
Both terms refer to items found floating in the sea. However,
Correct.
Eric was wrong
Nope.
in stating that the distinction relates to the type of vehicle
No,
from which...
I misspoke.
Eric, we have it on tape.
I just said I misspoke, Fred.
You were clear.
Were you taking No, that it out of wasn't context, clear.
There was no misspeaking.
No. Did you misremember?
The fact that you mentioned a plane is absolutely 100% wrong.
Yes, because I was thinking in my head jettison. I was thinking
yeah,
jet,
so
and I
wrong.
said plane.
Right, you were wrong.
So that's how I was remembering it, because he said
But anyway,
jettison.
let me finish this. The correct distinction is that flotsam is debris from a vessel that was not deliberately thrown overboard, and jetsam is debris from a vessel that was deliberately thrown overboard.
Yes,
so the difference
I'm
is,
aware.
You didn't say that.
Yes, I did say that.
No, you
Fred.
didn't. Eric.
I said when there's a shipwreck,
He
that's
kinda said it.
flotsam.
Yeah.
He
because
said when
it's-
it just floats.
When it just floats
it's
from a
flotsam,
shipwreck,
but
and
when
it's
you throw it
thrown
out,
out,
it's
it's
when you
jetsam.
throw stuff off a
It's
jet.
thrown off.
But he was right
things
about
thrown
the
overboard.
action. He was wrong about the vehicle.
Right.
No,
It's
so
things thrown overboard.
I said when there's a shipwreck,
Yeah.
the stuff that's the debris from the shipwreck is floating. That's flotsam.
That's not correct.
Listen,
according to this.
It is correct.
That's another great moment from
I love stubbornness. All right, back here on Patriots Unfiltered, 855-PATS-500 is the hotline. Podcast@patriots.com is the email address. A couple emails coming in. A lot of emails coming in, actually, but a couple that I'll read. Dan in Pennsylvania, he says, does this win over the Bengals qualify as a win that feels like a loss, given the poor play and the key injuries? That's his first question. No.
Not to me.
Not to me.
I would take the poor play out. Like, I don't have an issue with how they played. Like, just win in advance, man. Like, it's week 13. Yeah. They haven't had a bye yet. Like, just win the game and get out of Cincinnati. The injuries stink. Like, that stinks out
The
loud.
injuries give you a little of that Pyrrhic victory feeling because, at what cost, but...
And it's not just on the field, too. Like, there's something about, like, losing Will Campbell, the rookie first-round pick kid that's been a great personality. And, it's a buzzkill. That's... Like, I feel bad because I felt like on the post-game show, I was ready to open a vein about, it's over, Will Campbell's done for the year. I mean, he still might be, but at least now there's a glimmer of hope that maybe he comes back, you know? So I felt yesterday really improved my mood.
I reeled him in, believe it or not.
Yeah, I was.
I said, I don't know, maybe,
I was in a dark place.
No, there's a certain point during the show, during the game we were watching it, and I'm like, I'm not having fun. I'm not having fun right now.
Yeah, it's
my
tough.
whiny.
I mean,
It's really
he's been awesome. Like, he's been awesome. And exactly when you draft a tackle 4th overall, you want to put him at left tackle for the next
Set it and
decade.
forget it,
and it feels like they have that.
He's going to be back.
He's going to be back.
I mean, I had already gone through the mental progression of and then he gets his ACL, and then we're like PUP next year, and then maybe he comes back. Like, I'd already gamed this all out, and so I was in bad place.
Offensive lineman?
I wasn't thinking about all that.
And he
I was
runs
thinking about
really
this
good, and now he
season.
might not run as well. Maybe he'll have to wear a clunky knee brace, and that's going to look like these are all the things going through my head.
They should all be wearing knee
Don't
braces.
do that. People are.
Yeah, well, Fred, I pointed that out because I thought that.
No, I wouldn't do that. But see, it's a much different situation. Like sometimes, what?
No, it's just a really important point I was about to make, and you just talk over me like you always do, according to the listeners.
I do.
Yes.
That was real.
Evan,
That was from a real
stop
place.
it. Just so you know,
according to the listeners.
Evan said that, not me.
That was from a real place.
No, why don't offensive linemen wear knee braces anymore? Is it just the Patriots? Like, I thought of that, and then I was like looking at the film, and I'm like, no, none of them.
They all
wear
should have knee braces on.
anymore. And I seem to remember a time when they all did. I don't know.
It's so easy to get rolled up on.
Yeah, but this wasn't rolled up on, so I don't think that it would have happened.
Sharp blow to the side of your leg.
Yeah, I don't think this would have helped.
But I just mean generally speaking. Like, I feel like not too long ago, all the offensive linemen wore knee braces just as a matter of.
At one, I think it's still
nobody
mandatory in practice. At one point, it was they were thinking about making it mandatory, and I don't know what happened with that. But this was a blow to the side of his knee from a guy that was pursuing the ball. I don't know. I mean, I don't know enough about knee brace mechanics and all that, but I can't imagine this would have helped.
It's funny because there's this big emphasis on safety in football, but these players, other than helmets, they wear less and less pads every year.
Yeah,
that is
so
true.
funny.
Did you see there was a comparison going around on X of like an old thigh pad, like a thigh pad from the 80s and like a thigh pad
and they don't
now.
even wear
It's
knee
like-
pads. Forget about knee pads.
Or even like shin pads in soccer. You ever see those? Like sometimes there's shin pads that
Oh,
are
they're
like
just the
literally
little
like it's just a
things,
little
yeah.
circle.
I
And
know.
we used to have to wear the whole thing, but
That I understand, but in football, like even the shoulder pads are getting smaller.
do they even
every
wear
year.
that? Remember that butt pad that we used to have in the high school football
yeah,
thing?
the
And like the
coccyx.
coccyx. Do they don't protect their coccyx
Yeah.
anymore? Why is that?
The second question.
It's a good thing we stopped talking so you could get that out.
The question, second question, Paul. Does this win check the box of a game where Drake didn't have his stuff but was able to battle and power through it well enough to get the W.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I agree.
Point to that pop throw is, I mean, that was, to me, a key moment where it felt like they were, bad field position. They were 3rd and 11. I mean, it felt like they were up against it, and then launched that throw up the.
They did enough to win as a team. I would say, Drake, everybody else too. I think
Borregales?
defensively, Borregales, you don't win this game if your kicker's not perfect, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
You missed that last
And
one. They only made
missed,
3.
He made some long ones too. He
Yeah.
had a 50-something yarder. I thought that we're getting so spoiled with Drake May. Like he was bad by his standards in this game. Probably, I had it as his second worst game of the year behind only the opener. And he still made 3 or 4 throws that nobody else on the planet can probably make. Like it's really like to that point with him where it's every single week he makes 3 or 4 throws that make your jaw drop. And the seam splitter to Pop was a great one. The back shoulder seam to Hooper was another really great one. He threw a go to fade to Mac Hollins that was just perfectly placed down the sideline.
Oh, yeah.
For another
play.
chunk
Yep,
play. He made 3 or 4 throws in this game, even on an off day, that were high level.
One thing
franchise
about
QB.
Pop, I love, he's producing, some nice plays lately. But can we get a coach in here that'll help him with his balance? He just seems to fall down.
The end around, he went down.
But every time, like he gets in the open field, he just falls.
Well, I thought that he went down on the end around because he was going to get popped, and so he just went down.
Little self-preservation.
And then the one over the middle, he dove to catch the ball.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but I hear you.
That's fine. But
Yeah. That's
I did
been an
think the
issue.
end around, like maybe you guys might have seen like the defenders coming, like because we both laughed at that one, like he fell again.
Yeah. I thought the same thing. I mean, it was a little bit of both, but just to be fair.
those balls you can stand on and kind of work on your balance. I don't know.
He told me that on the, which one was it? It was one of the ones.
Tampa?
There's so many of these drunken sailor ones from him, and I don't know which one it was. But one of the plays, he told me that he gave himself a little bit of whiplash because he looked back to see if there was a defender going back, and then when he snapped his head forward,
Get a little
he
vertigo?
I got disoriented.
I got a little whiplash.
So I just wonder if maybe that is part of it. Like he's kind of looking around too much.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Just run. You're
I think
fast.
it all goes back to
You
his
can
rookie
beat people.
season.
You don't need to look.
Don't whiplash.
Brendan in Edmonton. Once again, Todd one-ups himself in only a way he could by suggesting tanking a week with 8 days away from a game to rest before a bye week. I'm sure Todd was happy with his participation medals in his sports career, but us normies are not. This guy is cooked. Wow. And also shout out to Alex for her glow up.
Oh.
Hope she remembers us when she's gone Hollywood. Yeah, Carissa, what's her name?
Carissa Thompson.
Carissa Thompson, shouted her out on the internet.
On
the
New Heights
internet.
podcast.
Yeah,
on the
One
internet.
of the top podcasts. I mean, we're the world's original podcast, but I would say the Kelsey's podcast is a little bit more popular. But yeah.
Yeah, that's
Alex,
huge.
I said the
Just a little
baller
bit
move
more
with
popular.
the handwritten note.
Yeah.
Slip that to her, and no, it came up. It's pretty cool.
That's really cool. Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Maybe we'll have her on. She'll be
Alex,
on tomorrow.
we'll
on
invite
the
her.
show tomorrow. Yeah, maybe she can.
Can talk about it.
Maybe delve into that. a
Talk
little
some more
bit.
about Carissa. You won't be here, Paul, so you don't get to listen to it.
Mike and I, we had some time with Carissa too.
Why is that, Paul?
I'm not sure Carissa knows that she had time with us.
Seemed very interested in Chris's whereabouts when they were here.
They on the Thursday night
Stalker.
games, that whole crew, and there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into those Thursday night broadcasts. That whole crew was in our area the whole time.
Yeah.
So Mike and I were joking
Yeah.
around. They were walking around.
I once sent a letter.
So you're not
I once
stalking
asked
her?
a letter to
No,
be
no.
delivered to John Elway, but I don't
Goodness.
think he ever got it.
Oh,
So-
no. You should ask him about that. You know what I was
Ask
thinking
them
of
why
doing,
they play
Paul?
at home every week.
What do you think if I gave a handwritten note to Laura Rutledge this Monday night for Monday Night Football? Because she'll be here.
That shit with the CH crazy.
As her being a little.
Yeah, maybe
suspect.
you'll get a shout out.
That would be mine. I want a shout out from her. No, I think she's great.
Why is that?
She does a great job.
Paul, if you could give a handwritten note to anyone, who would you give a handwritten note to?
Handwritten note. I don't know.
You don't know?
People don't do that anymore.
No, they don't.
Jim Calhoun.
People don't write. Jim Calhoun. Really?
Random.
How about you, Evan?
It's
Handwritten
cool
note?
tonight.
Yeah.
No.
Who would you?
Philip Bailey. Good call there.
I'm
Who
okay.
would you write a note to?
A handwritten note?
You know, like a note of thanks or a note of praise?
How about
or-
we do this? Evan,
I
have
have
you ever
one.
written a handwritten note? in your
Like
life?
when I
write
was
cursive?
at camp, and I'd have to write letters to my parents. It was mandatory, so I had to do it. I would say handwritten note, Kyle Shanahan.
Okay.
I just like slip him
Yeah.
a little note at the combine and just be like, I really appreciate your film. Thank you. You know, just kind of.
You must have gotten a lot of handwritten thank you notes, Fred, in your day with a number of interviews that you
Used to
do with people. but
nobody
now you
does
get,
that
now
anymore.
You get the email.
Yeah, now you get the email.
What
Yeah.
would you? Who would you give a note to?
Handwritten note. John Lynch. No, I don't know. I don't know.
See, it's not an easy question that you hit me with. You kind of
Yeah.
you scoffed at me for
I
not
did-
having
I did
an
write-
answer right off the go. But Jim Calhoun would be my answer.
I did write a note to
opportunities.
Obama, and I got an email back
From his secretary.
from the White House.
Yeah, that's cool. It's like when you send like a invitation to the president for your like bar
For your
mitzvah
wedding.
or something, like, and they're like,
Try to get a present.
"We're sorry, but he can't come."
Yeah,
It's like, oh, really? I thought he was gonna show up.
Paul writes in, I've certainly never been embarrassed by my sports team, but just this morning, I was walking through the grocery store in my Patriots hoodie and came face to face with a guy dressed in Bills gear. We both looked directly at each other, and I couldn't help but smirk. I hated being that guy the last few years. Have a great Thanksgiving. Go Pats. So
Good moment. Do the little eyebrows. Like,
That makes me laugh too.
Gonna be a big one in a couple weeks.
yeah,
Excited.
poor Bills fans, huh?
Well,
Poor
we'll see.
Bills
We'll
fans.
see. We'll
They're up
see.
against
So
it again.
I don't have any money, but somebody that does have money, when the Patriots win the AFC East, can we get a billboard outside of Highmark Stadium?
yeah, sure.
That says like "We run the East" or something corny, like they did to here.
No,
Because
I'm sure they won't.
So,
I'm sure that no one would do that if it's a Patriots fan.
you
Don't
know,
worry about it.
celebrating division titles like they mean anything.
Yeah.
So like, might as well give it back, right, to the great people of Buffalo. Thank you.
Right.
But
Right.
So someone that has like, you know, I can't afford it, so
Yeah.
somebody
Well,
that
billboards
can.
in Buffalo are probably pretty affordable, I would imagine.
Oh, that's a great
Right.
point, Deuce.
They pay you.
Yeah, that'd be
That's a good point. Or maybe like one of those planes that like flies like over the stadium with the.
That's what got me
thing and
started.
It says like
That's what got me
AFC's
started.
champions, Patriots.
Some Steeler fan did that over here against Pittsburgh in 07. Pulling a banner, like asterisks about Super Bowls. I did not take kindly to that.
That was the one thing that they did that it really pissed me off.
Grinding my gears.
Won the
Back to the
division.
phones. Michael's in Texas. What's up, Michael?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes, Michael.
Perfect. So I've got a question and a gripe. My question, I know it's hard to, pinpoint and say one or the other, but if you had to pick one of the two, with this last weekend's game being kind of one of the sloppier ones as of late and seeing our armor peeled back a little bit, who would you credit the win more with, the players or the coaches? I'll take that off air, but I'll just quickly jump to my gripe and then let you guys get to it. Good old Christian in LA. Christian, you're telling me that you waited on hold for at least 15 to 20 minutes and the best you could come up with was stumbling through some god-awful Texas joke. Thank you for clearing up at least one thing, that one of these self-proclaimed tools that you have, a comeback, is certainly not one of them. Not to mention your joke has a hole in it. You mentioned that you only know of two things in Texas, when that's a bit of a lie because I'm clearly living rent-free in your mind. So let's put that tool back into your Stanley Jr. toolbox set that you probably took out of your kid's closet. I don't want you to hurt yourself there, bud. But I'll go ahead and I'll stop there. I know that everybody loves a good villain. You guys are great. Andy was great at it and everything. But Christian, I don't want you thinking that I'm lumping you into that group. I said good villain, not crap villain.
Oof.
So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your
Wow.
Tuesday. Christian, enjoy your sushi and senior discounts. See you guys later.
All right. Michael, bringing it.
Texas claps back.
Bringing it. Listener on listener crime. Okay. I'm here for that. Right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christian in LA in 3, 2. No.
Right.
Tyrell's in New Jersey. What's up, Tyrell? Tyrell. What exit? No, he's not there. Okay. We'll go. Also, Dan's in New Jersey. What's up, Dan?
Yeah, Montclair is the exit.
Montclair. Okay.
I know
There you
that
go.
is.
Yeah. Yeah, so not angry, Fred. Just, but I do have a couple of concerns. First, not going to belabor it, but the slow starts, it's getting to be, kind of a joke. But I understand they overcome it. Okay. The second one is the goal line offense, and I don't know if anyone broke it down. Like, is there a particular problem? How many were
Evan did a great job.
versus? How many were Ramondre attempts versus Trevion? And is it personnel, or are they just bad luck?
They all got chances.
They all tried.
Yeah,
they tried
did you
all
listen?
three backs.
If you listen to the beginning of the show, Evan kind of broke down at least one of the sequences. Yeah.
Yeah. Henderson got carries. Terrell Jennings got, I think, 1 carry down there. Stevenson, I think, got 2. Henderson also was a receiver. They tried a quarterback sneak. They tried to leak the tight end out a little bit, in the back corner of the end zone. They tried everything.
Yeah.
They didn't execute it.
Yeah.
And Campbell was there for both, right? All sequences, right? That was his injury came later.
His end of the third quarter, I think so.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, no, I mean,
He might not have been in the second time they got down there.
This is purely execution. Like, I don't think the Bengals did anything in either sequence that got the Patriots, or maybe one play they blitzed the safety on a play action that got them, but like for the most part, this was.
I thought that they ran
sloppy
too many
down there.
plays up the middle.
Like run plays.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you're trying to get 1 yard,
No, I know, but
route.
they were running into a stone wall. So, like, I don't know. I would have moved it outside a little bit.
That's fair.
I thought the one play, I think it was the first one they tried. It was, design rollout for May, where I think he could have,
And
had
that's
the
I think
option.
that's the play that Evan's talking about that got blitzed.
I like that play, but like you said, Bengals sniffed that out.
I don't think it was a designed rollout. I think he rolled out because the safety was coming.
Oh, you think
carte
so?
blanche off the
I
edge.
thought it was a design play.
But it might have been. I don't know. But the safety was clear to the quarterback, and I think he was like, "I got to get out of here."
Yeah.
But it was execution. They did not execute well down there.
On handwritten notes, Boston Cream said Fred would give a handwritten note to Brandon Spikes. If you know, you know.
Correct.
Oh, I know.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, I know.
And I don't like it.
Let's see. Matt in Virginia wants to make a humble attempt to win a T-shirt.
Okay.
A few weeks ago, you guys were talking about Brady and his punts. Well, I decided to scour the internet to find out how many times Tom punted. And so the first question is, how many punts did Tom Brady have in his career, in his Patriots?
We had one
career?
against Denver in the 2011
I'm gonna say
AFC divisional game, I think.
4.
I'm going to say...
You would say wrong. You would be wrong, and Paul, you
2.
would be wrong. You would be wrong, too. 3.
Oh.
Home at Miami in 2003.
Okay.
It was down at the 1, snowing.
Snowball game.
In those
snow fireworks game.
Yes, in those weird silver alternate jerseys. Punt 2
dirty.
at home, divisional round versus the Broncos in 2012.
Remember that one.
It was the 2011
2011.
season. Right.
was Mike's
Yep.
game. Yeah.
Punt 3 was at home versus the Bills in 2013.
No recollection.
I don't remember that one.
And then the bonus question, what is Tom's career punt average? That's, you don't know he had 3.
41.2 yards.
38.7.
Oh,
that's not good.
That's pretty close. I mean, well, he's punting.
Well, when you're punting in plus territory.
Yeah.
You're trying to get it
49.9.
Right. And bonus 2, one other Patriot quarterback has punted. Who was it?
Jacoby Brissett.
Only one other Patriots quarterback has ever punted?
According to Matt, yeah.
That's a great trivia question.
Tom Tupa.
Zolak punt? Ooh, Tom Tupa was a punter.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Does that count?
No.
Because he punted.
Yeah, he doesn't have that, though.
Hugh Millen.
That's a good one, though.
Huh?
Tom Tupa was, yeah.
No,
he has Matt Castle at the Bills in 2008. It was down at the 1.
Oh, another one in the wind
Oh, in
game.
that wind one, yeah.
I'm sticking with Tom Tupa.
That's a technicality.
Punter / quarterback.
They don't make them like they used to.
They don't. No, could you imagine you only had to have one roster spot?
All right.
I think that's a great idea. I can't believe that Bill never figured out how to have a kicker and a punter be the same person. Like that's the other one that I thought for sure.
Russell Erxleben.
Like he would be able to save the roster spot, and
It's like Shohei Ohtani. Like, there's got to be somebody who could kick punts and kick field goals. Like someone ever in history should be able to do it at some point. Like,
wouldn't that be valuable? Like you have a free roster spot.
Right.
Like
gotta be a unicorn out there someday.
Yeah.
Then if that guy gets hurt, though, you're screwed.
That's true.
Now you need 2.
That's true.
Yeah.
Good point, Paul.
Jack and Ann Arbor.
I don't think that's why.
The Patriots must buckle their chin straps for the Giants. I watched the Giants against the Lions, and the Giants are a much better team than their record suggests. Though they don't have elite skill players, they are very stout on both sides of the line. They play hard, and they are well coached. They have led in most of their games this season, and had they taken the points instead of going for a touchdown on their second to last possession, they would have beat the Lions. The Giants are a dangerous opponent because the Patriots might be inclined to take them lightly.
You know who I'm a little Theo Johnson. Like, he's just a big dude. And I noticed, especially with Dart, there was like one drive they had, and I think it was in that Bears game, where he just went to him like 4 straight times. Like, they started hitting it. But he's a big contested catch guy.
So is Hodges.
You know,
the receiver makes some good catches like that back in the end zone.
Gesicki makes some plays last week. You know, I think the book's out on trying to target the tight ends against this.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call the Giants defense stout. I think that's the opposite of what I would call the Giants defense. But I hear his point overall about the Giants. They've been in a lot of games.
Yeah.
You know, their record's 2-10. They've lost 5 games that they've led by double digits in the fourth quarter.
Crazy.
They're 1-5 in 1-score games. They're they've hung in games. 3 weeks in a row they've lost 3 straight 1-score games, including 1 in overtime.
Yep.
So it's not
24-20, 27-20, 34-27 in overtime.
They're not getting blown out.
That's the last 3 games.
Their defense has been bad. Their offense has actually been respectable given the situation. No neighbors for most of the year. The quarterback's kind of in flux. The coach was an offensive-minded coach that they fired, but their offense is like 18th in DVOA. Like, it's not like it's a disaster.
It's not the wounded animal comp that people make, like dangerous. Wounded animals are really dangerous, but like, it's just a team that, like, they're just gonna cut it loose and everything's on the table, and like that. I think those are hard teams to beat. If they just come in and they're like, we don't care. Like, we're down, we're up. We don't, we're going to throw the ball. We're going to do double passes, and we're going to set our outside linebackers out on your tackles, and we'll see what happens. You know?
Now, on the other hand, Jameis Winston might throw you 3 picks, and then all of a sudden this game turns into a blowout, but it goes one of 2 ways with him.
Yeah.
Either he throws for 500 yards or he throws 500 yards to the other team. And there's no...
It's some of what we just talked about with Flacco.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Flacco's quite as dramatic with the swings as Jameis Winston, but if you get good Flacco, you can be in trouble. You didn't get good Flacco. I think he was clearly well below 100%, which is why I would have played Burrow in that game. I would have been desperate if I was Cincinnati, and I would have put everything into trying to win that game to see if I can salvage the season. And ultimately, that may have been the difference.
I think I saw he's had 7 games where he's thrown for 300 yards and thrown 3 interceptions.
Yeah,
he doesn't understand the concept of a trap corner. So
he's praying to Jesus. He said, I pray to God he could just help me stop throwing pick sixes.
It's unbelievable to me that and I'm not trying to pick on Jameis.
I love him.
A quarterback that is this experienced, and he just keeps throwing into, the corner will act like he's carrying the receiver and then fall off the receiver and just jump the route underneath. And he throws into it every single time. I'm like, dude, it's a trap. It is literally called a trap corner, and you keep throwing the ball right to the guy.
LASIK. He's still, even after LASIK.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Kevin and Mass, I think what was more concerning than the spray throws from May early in the game was the lack of a contingency plan for several blitzes the Bengals sent at us. I saw multiple free blitzers get immediate pressure on May. Didn't seem to be well identified pre-snap. I didn't see the line slide to the correct side or see any alert adjustments from potential hot receivers. May either took the sack or chucked up a prayer. I know his pressure numbers have been good up until last game, which is why I would have liked to think he would have been better equipped to handle what the Bengals did.
Yep, it's a good email. I think that was probably the biggest concern coming out of this game from a Drake May perspective. Like, the pick, it happens. Like, you're not gonna go turnover free every single week. You're going to throw some picks in the NFL. The lack of a plan against the blitzes, I asked him about it after the game. He fell on the sword as he usually does and said that he could have been better with it pre-snap and getting guys blocked and things like that. But even still, some of the ones, they got him on a nickel on a slot blitz that I thought Diggs was just open and he kind of froze and didn't get rid of the football there. I think Vrabels said even just throw the ball at Diggs' feet and just live to play the next down, sort of thing, even would have worked. The last third down of the game, they let a guy through the B gap unblocked, and that was almost picked.
And I was going to say,
Yeah.
and I didn't like his
Yeah.
response to that one either.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
He just threw that one up for grabs.
So I think what happened was, and I put this in after further review, the one that I'm talking about with the slot blitz, he had Diggs on a little out that he just kind of didn't throw, and then they ran the same exact route into the zero blitz, and Turner was ready for it this time, and so he fell off his guy and jumped the out, knowing that it was coming. And Turner was this close to a pick six that would have won the Bengals the game. But going back to the protection for a second, like the A and the B gaps have to be protected. You can't let guys through unblocked through the A and the B. If somebody comes off the edge, it happens. You know, the quarterback can account for that. But you got to keep them protected through the middle of the pocket.
Yeah. Tay from Nebraska. He says, first off, we came through when it matters yet again. Second, I'm not trying to stir up controversy, but watching the first time and even the second, it really appeared Cincinnati was trying to actively injure our players. For example, the overslam of Pac Douglas, also another play where Drake was getting tackled by two players, and the one on top literally punched him in the face. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. Either way, we got the win yet again. They probably were trying to hurt us.
I would just say on the Douglas one, he hadn't been touched down. He got up and ran. That's why they threw him down.
Yeah.
I missed that initially.
Despite the fact that Kevin Harlan called that a touchdown. 45-yard touchdown.
He did say that. That was a great
now,
throw.
I don't know if he was saying he was touched down, but he said touchdown.
That was
one of the worst performances by a veteran play-by-play guy. You'll have misidentified players all game long. Like this,
I was thinking about this
Kevin Harlan.
last night, as I do. The throw to Pop might have been the best throw I've seen in the NFL all year.
That was a good throw.
Like that
was a
might
really good throw.
that's on the list of any quarterback's throws all season long. That's on the list.
I got a funny.
It's top 5.
Funny quick one for this in the post game. I had said that, we were talking about how Drake was a little off at the beginning of the game, and I was like, even when he got quote unquote hot, Henry was just kind of getting wide open, and he didn't really have a lot of tight window throws. And Mike immediately goes, "Well, that one popped Douglas." I go, "Oh yeah, that one."
They put it on the video. And
I go, "Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that's a good throw."
His feet are in his own end
Mike
zone.
had that throw, and I was like, "Oh, I forgot about that one."
His feet are in his own end zone. And he throws with anticipation 40 yards down the field.
That was a good throw.
Pop just kind of looked back and then he got around the guy and
absurd.
Where he lets go of the ball. Pop hasn't even really cutting in. I mean, that's just practice.
Yep.
No.
Dylan writes in, I was listening to Barth on one of his shows, and he points out that despite Drake playing exceptionally well, he's not very good at the QB sneak. What is your take on putting someone else under center for sneaks? Barth suggested Hollins, but I like Henry or Hooper in that role. Who would you pick?
It's a good point.
Turns his back.
That Alex and I have talked about before. I want to say probably him, but I want to say that we have. Sneaks is all about pad level. Like Brady was so good at it because he got really, really low and really drove his legs and got underneath and kind of like burrowed underneath the big bodies there. I don't think he gets low enough. I think he tries to go over the top with it. And it doesn't really get that push.
All right.
Potentially.
Analyze that.
He turns his back, and he definitely turned his back on that one, and that's why the ball never got to the goal line.
Yeah, Brady used to just go straight down. He would just kind of burrow underneath it.
Eric says, this is why we should have kept Duggar and White. They're both doing well in Pittsburgh and San Francisco. What do you guys think?
I don't know how that helps the situation.
I don't know. I haven't seen any of White.
I haven't seen any.
Duggar's made some plays.
I can't tell you that that's right or wrong. Duggar's made an impact in Pittsburgh, but he wasn't playing really here unless one of those guys was hurt.
I mean, I guess you could make the argument that Keon White could have rushed inside on some third downs without Milton Williams.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah, that's something that I pointed out when they traded him, but it wasn't going to be a big role. It wasn't like he was going to be starting, but I guess in theory,
it's a fair email.
If it's 3rd and 8, like you could have put Keon White over the guard and Milton Williams' spot,
because I was initially like that Keon White, but no, that's a fair email. You lost a guy that he could have potentially given you he could have given you a layer of depth that maybe he's better than Durden or Gregory.
Bruce in Bluffton, South Carolina, originally from North Andover. on punters and QBs. He said he once saw Tom Usyk accidentally kick the ball backwards over his head, I think in Fenway Park, backup QB to Babe Parilli. Tom Usyk is the answer to a good trivia question, which is name the only player to play professional football and baseball in Fenway Park.
Let me think about that one for a minute.
Wait, what?
The answer is Tom Usyk.
Oh.
Deion Sanders.
He played for the Detroit Lions for a short stint.
Not Harry Aganis?
I do think it's cool that Deion played.
People think it's Harry again.
For the Braves, and then in the same day played a game for the
I remember
Falcons.
that. I remember that.
That's
happening.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was amazing when it
Yeah.
happened, like live.
Yeah.
It was
Did Bo
unbelievable.
ever do that? Did Bo ever do?
I think he
do
retired.
Not at the same
right?
time.
Yeah.
He played the sports, he would play baseball, and then when baseball was over,
would
he
just
would
go to
play
football.
But Deion actually.
Yeah. No, I remember that being a whole thing.
Yeah, and I don't
for
think the Braves weren't happy with it, and
Yeah.
he ended up not. I don't think he played in the game, but he got there. He got to the game in like the fourth inning.
Yeah.
Who's a better baseball player, Bo or Deion?
I think
Bo.
Deion. Oh, you think
Bo.
Bo was?
Bo
yeah,
was
yeah,
Bo
I
had
guess
a-
so.
Bo
right.
was
Bo
a-
had a cannon.
Bo was
yeah.
an all-star in
Bo,
baseball.
Yeah.
Amazing plays.
I
and
think
outfield.
Deion could have been a really good baseball player if he
Was
focused
he like
on
a
it.
center fielder or something?
Yeah, he was a good. He was. I mean, exactly. He's just an unbelievable athlete.
Yeah.
I just
But he could
remember
hit.
him.
He could hit.
running the bases.
Yeah, he was a weapon on the bases.
Oh my gosh, was he fast?
Ben thinks that Drake May is slightly regressing every week. He's wondering if the deficiencies are starting to wear him down. The
So
O-line's
I have some
deficiencies.
very small C concerns. Very small C concerns with Drake. I think that might be putting it a little strong that he's regressing every week because I think he just played at such a high level all year.
Yeah.
A little worried that the turnovers are starting to crop up, and for some reason he has friends in the NFL stats crews because they don't really record his fumbles. He had another fumble in this game that they didn't say was a fumble.
Oh,
and
on on the scramble.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the pass. That was clearly a pass that they originally ruled a fumble and then they overturned it on replay.
Yeah.
He fumbled on an early scramble, and he recovered it. Like ball security, is important.
He was excellent against the Jets. So I mean, I know it's
that's
the
why
Jets,
I said I think that's strong saying he's regressed every week.
but he was awesome against the Jets.
He was really, really good.
Yeah.
And
I
AJ
agree.
says he feels like Josh McDaniels' play calling was less effective against the Bengals. He's been good this year, but shouldn't he know Drake can't run a sneak?
Oh, I don't know.
If they didn't run a sneak, everybody'd be up in arms. Like,
Why'd you
let's
run a
just run a
sneak?"
sneak. You're like 1 inch line. Like, I thought Josh did a lot of different things on that goal line set. They didn't execute them.
I think that the one thing, if you wanted to be small C concerned about McDaniels, is that we're getting to the point of the season where it's all on film. Like all the stuff that they have been doing and all the things that they cooked up in the lab in the summertime for Drake May, that's now out there, is now all on film. And I like this aspect of McDaniels, but it is something that's worth mentioning, is that they will repeat plays. Not everybody does. They'll dress it up a little bit differently and they'll get to it a little bit differently. But the Hunter Henry touchdown, for example, they ran that exact same play the week before. Like, they will do that, and they'll repeat plays within a game where, Drake, he loves stick.
Like stick.
They run stick like 10 times a game. Now, he makes it go because you can hit stick in many ways, in different ways, and whatever the coverage gives you. But if you want to go there with McDaniels, let's hope that he's got some things that he's been holding back that are in his back pocket for when the games start to get bigger.
I mean, would you just point to the run game, though? Like, just trying to find some kind of consistency now that Ramondre Stevenson's back. You have a rotation going. I mean, it seemed to me like they weren't ready to really throw him into the fire. They just wanted his pass protection for the most part in this game. And maybe that continues through this week and let him get healthy fully. But that's where I just start, is give Drake a little bit of consistency in the run game, Give him some manageable down and distance.
He does seem to still be able to get the tight ends open.
Yep.
But I thought in this game the receivers didn't do as good a job of
creating
space.
Diggs got open on the third down. Booty was going to catch a touchdown if that guy didn't drag him down. I mean, that ball.
Oh, yeah. That was clear,
seen
clear
that
pass
movie
interference.
before, right? He just pulls away late and drops it right in the bucket. Hollins had the big play down the sideline, and then Pop had the big play up the chute. But it wasn't a high volume game for the receivers.
What did he end up with? 294?
Yeah, it was a career high in yards, but
it's getting there.
It didn't.
Oh, God,
it
they
wasn't.
just put
I
those
agree.
linebackers
It
in
wasn't
hell.
the same.
They had the Bengals linebackers stink, and they just had the linebackers spinning. It was
Randy's in Buffalo, back on the hotline. What's up, Randy? Randy.
Hello.
Yeah, are you embarrassed?
How you doing?
No. Go ahead.
No, I'm not embarrassed.
Okay, good.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
All right.
Hey, Randy.
Just calling to say hey.
I just want to ask,
Oh.
how do you guys think if Marcus Bryant was the left tackle instead of Lowe? Because he played left tackle in Missouri, right?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's something I was thinking about. I think
Vrabel didn't rule it out yesterday. Seemed like they want to think about it a little bit.
So at Missouri, Armand Membu played right tackle, and Marcus Bryant was their left tackle last year at Missouri. So he's the left tackle by trade. That's his more natural position. Now, his body type and his play style probably fits right tackle in this system a little bit better than left, but he's played left tackle more than he's played right tackle. So
he's like 6'7",
and he played. Yeah, he played on the left side at SMU too.
So why do you say that his body type is more?
He's a mauler, big dude. Big, good run blocker.
Okay.
Usually with McDaniels, like the right side, they usually have the bulldozers on the right and the more athletic guys on the left.
Okay.
Typically, not always, but you see, like I always go back to Solder, Tooney, Andrews, Mason, Cannon, like that. That's sort of the way they want the line to be built. Ideally, now if you have a great player on the left side who's a mauler, then that all the power to you. But that's just how it's been in the past.
All right. Thanks, Randy. How about Nate in Iowa? Hey, Nate.
Hey, can you guys hear me all right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. So back after the Panthers game, I put $5 on Drake May to win MVP when the odds are like plus 7,500. And my plan was to take the cash out after Drake has a bad couple of games, because right now I think my cash out's at about $100. But at this point, this late into the season, do you guys think I should just ride it out until the voting, or should I take the cash out?
Well, can you go over that again? How much did you put down?
$5.
$5 to win 100. I would ride it. I would let it ride.
Same.
Yeah,
he's got a shot still.
$5. The payout was to pay $5 to pay $3.85, and right now I have an early cash out for like $100 or so. But
I would ride it out because he's got those games against
I would cash out
Buffalo and Baltimore.
I think Matthew Stafford is
for $95.
But if he plays well against Buffalo and Baltimore, then
absolutely,
he's
it
right
ain't
back
over.
in it.
Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
I thought it was the Japanese.
Yeah,
awesome.
but don't you think Matthew Stafford has the
inside track?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
got a lot more to work with.
Follow-up question was
about that.
going to kind of be, because I think Matthew Stafford is number one in odds right now, and I mean he's playing lights out. So I don't know if it was worth it just to take the cash out or just ride it till the end.
I also feel like with MVP, all these awards, like you kind of have to have an MVP season before you get the MVP. Like in a lot of cases, it's like kind of like proof of concept, and Stafford's been so good.
I would
for so
take the
long.
cash out and find another prop bet.
Well, that's what I said. Take the cash out, take half of it, put on Matthew Stafford.
Oh, there you go.
Well,
But you're not going to get good odds.
Yeah. No, I'd ride it out.
No, find another different type of bet.
Cash it out and put it on the Patriots to go to the Super Bowl.
Like if he
There you
goes,
go.
if he goes to,
Are they 500 to 1?
I have no idea.
if he goes to Baltimore and maybe they flex that game into like a 425 window or something like that, and he goes to Baltimore and he throws for 303 touchdowns and beats the Ravens, like they're gonna the MVP thing
That's all he would do
is gonna start right back up. Like especially if they win those games without Campbell and without Moses. And,
You're right. You're right. Thanks, Nate. Bill's in Vancouver. If I can hit the button. There you go. What's up, Bill?
Hi. First-time caller, long-time listener. I'm curious, the knee braces that offensive linemen wear in college, and then they get to the pros and immediately ditch them. Wouldn't you think that the type of hit that Will Campbell took would have been prevented by that knee brace?
I don't know.
There's no way to know for sure. It could have been. It's funny that when Mike brought that up, I always kind of think of all the offensive linemen all wearing knee braces.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's why I thought of it. It was just
They're
weird.
taking them off now.
It's you're not
unencumbered.
The speed. They're
I mean,
worried
it looks
about
ridiculous. I mean, it looks like it'd be hard to run in.
10 years are just going to be playing in shorts and helmets.
Well, in college, they basically play. You ever see the pants
I know.
in college
Yeah.
now? They all
They're
wear,
up above
they wear
the knee.
shorts.
Yeah. Yep. Like capri pants.
Yeah.
I don't care for it.
I'm not a doctor, but I don't think that this particular one because it came from
Impossible
the
to say,
side.
right?
But if it comes from the side and you have the brace on, isn't that where the metal is to prevent the knee from?
That's the
from
whole point
caving
of the
in?
But
brace.
isn't the brace is supposed to? It's like, you know, if you're bending your knee, like it's supposed to help
Yeah.
your knee. Like this was a side collision.
I
so
thought it was
just-
supposed
That's
to
what I
prevent your
thought.
knee from going side to side.
That's what I thought it was. Yeah.
Right.
Again, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never played offensive line, so I don't.
Thanks,
I don't
Bill.
know.
It's a brace. It braces you.
Well, but
Against
does it brace it from going forward or
Yeah.
to the
I
side?
don't know. I'm
I
not
would
gonna
think that's
skip
where
on
the,
this.
that's
I
where the
have
metal
no
is
idea.
on the
Right,
side.
you have to go
so-
forward. You have to run.
I just know that the guy came from the backside and was pursuing
Yeah.
the ball and hit him instead
Lawrence
of the ball.
I mean,
That's all
probably
I
a good
know.
chance Will Campbell will have a brace on when he comes back this year. But I also think of Brady. I mean, Brady never wore a brace till 08, tore his ACL, brace on that leg rest of his career.
I do agree that the plant leg, the leg that the quarterback puts forward,
Yeah.
it'd be smart to wear a brace on that leg. Yeah.
William writes in. Says I was taking a look at Super Bowl odds for teams, and it hit me. The NFL script writers have the perfect opportunity. Rams versus Patriots 2.0, the greatest show on turf, had one of the best offenses in the league. The Rams currently have the MVP frontrunner in Stafford at 30-2, at 30 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Patriots are on their second year of their starting quarterback. They have an opportunity here to have Brady call the game and relive an amazing Hall of Fame career throughout all the lead up to the big day.
It's not on Fox, so it won't be Brady.
It would actually be Patriots Rams 3.0. They've already played twice in
That's
Super
right.
Bowls.
Some people are so young, Paul, that they don't even remember that they played them.
I thought the Super Bowl was on Fox.
It was on Fox last year.
Oh, last year it was.
I don't know
Yeah.
what channel
That's
it's on.
your right. I think it's back to CBS.
But I think he was actually referencing this would be like the second time. I don't think the Rams have the kind of offense right now that you're talking about with the greatest show on turf.
No.
But
The Super Bowl is on NBC.
NBC.
Yeah.
That means Universo
and Peacock.
Which means no Tom Brady.
But would that be weird though? If Tom Brady if the game's on Fox and the Patriots make the Super Bowl, is there any kind of attempt by the league to say we shouldn't have Tom do that, or is that interesting? I mean,
Why?
No,
Because of bias.
I don't know.
I think people would
Because of
watch to
bias.
see if he
they
is.
wouldn't have any announcers at any of these games.
Right.
J.J. Watt just announced T.J. Watt strip sack for a touchdown.
I'm just asking.
Super
Like he
Bowl,
said,
though.
what of what? And now
I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
you don't think people will be like, great, we're gonna watch the Patriots and hear
Oh.
from Tom Brady the whole game?
Do I think that would happen?
Well, I know
Yes,
that's
I
part
think,
of it,
I
too.
think people would
They'll
have-
hate watch or they'll love watch.
I mean,
Right.
Aikman calls Cowboys
agree.
games all the time.
Right,
Like,
right.
That's what I meant by
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
why.
I know
Like
what you
it
meant.
happens
I
on
know.
every game.
yeah.
Like
Bill
Greg
Belichick
Olson's
and
doing
Stu-
Panthers games. Like
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, all these guys are former players and
Yeah,
they
but-
played for teams.
And the Panthers could make it,
And I'm just saying any game.
You'll get
It's like why is
Tirico
the
and
Super Bowl different
Collinsworth
than
and
any
you'll
other
like
game
it.
that happens?
Well, more people, more chance to more. You're putting more out in front of what.
I mean, I'd just be offended having to listen to Tom Brady do the game.
You know what? Can I say real quick?
He said
actually?
something not
I've
so
caught,
good the
I've
other
caught
day.
some of him, and I have to be honest. I found him unlistenable early on, but I think he's gotten better. Like I found it a little bit more leaning into what do you see, Tom? What is your, and less. It's just awkward silences and trying to I
Yeah.
think he's improved.
think he's
which,
better?
I mean, not surprising given how hard that guy works, but I got to give him credit. I thought he was better.
Everyone sucks but me.
Well,
Kind of.
The question that I think will be asked after the season is less about his,
His slip of the tongue. or
broadcast work. It's more his work at the Raiders. How much of that team is his responsibility?
Yeah. So some people are saying a lot.
Well, some people are saying that. I don't know if it's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if it's a lot, then yikes.
I don't know if he's just there in a titular sense or if he's actually making big decisions.
If he's making big decisions, I think we learned that Tom Brady, the executive, is not the GOAT.
Right.
At least John Elway was successful initially before
Right.
he lost it.
Nick
Chip Kelly.
says, damn you,
Yikes.
Fred. He's from Maine.
Yeah.
I want to start by saying Fred is wrong about Primanti's brothers. Those sandwiches are absolutely killer, and I won't tolerate the slander. Outside of horrible sandwich takes, I saw a meme, and I thought it would be a fun game to pitch to the crew. If you had to pick 3 players from the dynasty to currently join you at the Thanksgiving table, who would you choose? 3 people from the dynasty to join you at
Gronk.
Thanksgiving.
Gronk.
Brady, Gronk, Edelman.
I don't know about Brady and Edelman. I don't know about those two.
They wouldn't be the most fun, but it's just that to me is
Brady's
is
gonna
the
be like,
trio.
what, you were having turkey? Tom, what do you want? I I don't know. Let me think about that for a second.
You're going for fun. Like, honestly, the Vrabel would be.
I wouldn't mind. Yeah, Vrabel would be a lot of
Vrabel.
fun. With he'd take rocket shots at everybody. You're really gonna eat that, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, he'd be dumping all over you the whole meal. But
Thanks for talking about the injuries.
he'd be fun. He'd be funny. Vrabel would be funny.
Yeah. Edelman seems like he'd be pretty intense about the whole situation. Need it a certain way. But hey, anybody be fine with me.
Anybody would be fine.
What did Brady do?
As long as they don't eat on my.
You seem to be alluding to a slip of the tongue that I'm not aware of.
Oh yeah, he kind of used the N word, but he really didn't.
What?
He meant to, no, he meant to.
I wasn't gonna.
He was saying it was supposed to be Dickerson, and
he misspoke.
He said Nickerson, but he stopped it because he said Nicker, I thought, and then he stopped. He goes, "Oh, sorry about that."
Oh, okay. That's
yeah.
Crisis averted.
Yeah.
No, but like there's a difference if you like. I thought maybe you got caught in a hot mic or said something, you know, unprofessional.
That was
whatever.
it.
Like that's just you just mispronounce a word or whatever.
The bulging dick in his
Like
disc in his back.
Like that's like he didn't mean to say that. Poor
Mike.
Mike.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, but you wonder. Never mind. I'm just. Kidding.
Curtis
Ian and I had to force him out that night.
Yeah.
Like he was so depressed.
I bet.
He wouldn't answer our text. Finally, we just went and grabbed him and dragged him out with us. The combine.
Curtis in St. Louis, he says, Evan,
yes,
I'm totally with you when it comes to the playoffs. I'd much rather play the Broncos in Denver than play the Chiefs. I understand they have a great defense. I understand the elevation in Denver is insane, but I have more confidence in the Patriots offense putting up enough points against Denver's defense than I do stopping Patrick Mahomes and outscoring the Chiefs. Bo Nix is a bum. KC held Indy to under 18 total yards and 0 points in the fourth OT. Bottom line, I don't care about the fourth and the OT. Bottom line, I don't care about the Chiefs' record or how it looks right now. All they have to do is make it in. The experience of that team at its core, the offense, defense, and the coaching staff have been there year after year. That's more intimidating than anything Bo Nix and Sean Payton have to offer.
Yeah. Great email.
I can't argue with anything in that email. I mean, I just disagree. I'd rather play Kansas City in Foxborough than Denver in Denver. If it's the same, Denver and Denver, Kansas City and Kansas City, I'll take Denver.
Yeah.
I guess like
I'd take the home game on Kansas City than a road game in Denver.
I guess if those are my only two options,
Right.
I don't know. I look at it just as Denver on its own in terms of like would I be that? I still think the Patriots have a very good chance of beating Denver, whether it's here or there. But Kansas City, the great quarterbacks worry me. If they face a guy because I think the way to beat this Patriots team is to throw the ball 45 times. That's how I think you win. I think if you're capable of having a really big, passing performance against them, I think that they're going to be in trouble.
I mean, if you have a big passing performance against anybody, you'll do well, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I think that's their weakness defensively is if
I know what Evan's saying.
Linebackers and safeties in the middle of the field, passing the football. I think their pass rush is average, like.
Why? Because they play nickel too much,
It's
right,
one
Dan
of the-
Orlovsky?
It's one of the reasons why I'm not as overly concerned with the amount of running yards that Chase Brown had this week, because those yards that's times they're not completing passes. I think Evan's right. I think the way to beat the Patriots is to make plays in the passing game.
Chase writes in, Evan mentioned 4 Jenga blocks being Diggs, Williams, Campbell, and Gonzo.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree that Marcus Jones might be number 5? I honestly questioned him being a captain at the beginning of the year, and wow, has he proven me wrong.
Yeah, he's played really well. I think just the thing I've accepted with Marcus Jones is that he's going to be a target for a lot of teams. Like, it just, you could see it every game trying to get. I mean, when Gesicki got on Marcus Jones, he's like got the arm up. So, he makes his fair share of plays, but, the other one was crazy catch. I forget which guy it was over him. Tinsley had over him, that's just a matter. If you choose to play him in the slot and you play him a lot, like those are going to be plays that you might give up from time to time. But he makes up for it with punt returns and that kind of stuff. So it's
dime.
Yeah.
I need to play more dime.
Gretchen in Asaqua, Washington. She said the difference between Tom and other former players is his ownership interest. He has a direct financial benefit with the Raiders. Former players do not. They have personal interests.
That's what Freddie said.
Well, yeah.
I agree with that.
I mean, that'd be more of an issue if it was the Raiders in the Super Bowl, I think,
Right.
than just.
We're talking about the
right,
Patriots.
Right, general annoyance for everybody that they got a whole lot of Patriots coming at them for the whole Super Bowl.
Nori from Arizona on handwritten notes. Evan really wants to give a handwritten note to his X and O's idol, Dan Orlovsky. The note will state how he'd like to audition for an ESPN NFL Live, his dream job to work alongside his crush, Mina Kimes.
Wow, those are a lot of words.
None of which were necessarily false.
I would say Dan Orlovsky and I have a complicated relationship. So,
does he know that?
Does that go back to the UConn days with?
No, we like to share in the love of football and all 22. But his comments in the past about Drake May, really
You just
stick
can't
with
overlook
me.
him, Fred.
Yeah, the receipts live on. If it was up to Dan Orlovsky, Drake May would still be on the bench right now as he's putting together an MVP season on a 10-2 team. So, I love you, Dan. Sorry. Can't help it.
Mike Chad in Atlanta. I know it sucks that the universe decided to take away some of our most important players, but surprisingly, I'm not worried. I've just been so impressed by Mike Vrabel and his staff. I know the knee-jerk reaction from everyone is going to be to talk about how bad Vidarian Lowe is, but let's have some faith in Doug Marrone. Lowe and Brown came into the game on Sunday, and I feel like they didn't miss a beat. There's a night and day difference between the coaching from last year and this year. I feel like that's what's going to save the season.
That's what I'm banking on.
We'll see. The Vidarian
You
Lowe
said that.
redemption story.
And save the season is such a
Save the season.
like
They're
I
2-2.
don't know. I mean, the season, right? Like they're already
it
going to
rolling.
the playoffs. I just need those guys back. If you're going to make noise in the playoffs, you're going to need Campbell and Milne Williams back.
Need that home game.
CP writes in, us fans are, quote, angry at barely beating one of the worst teams in the league because we may have the quarterback and some solid young players, but they're also going to lose Diggs and some key veterans soon. The front office got lucky with Diggs because their first option has been a non-factor in injury-prone, Chris Godwin, and their draft pick in Kyle Williams has shown essentially nothing. Not saying that I agree with this, but I do see how this could be the best this team has player-wise and schedule-wise. The Bills, Chiefs, and Ravens have had off years, and we're not expecting that next year. This is the year to really compete for a championship. So he's saying this is it, do or die.
I don't think it's do or die. I think this is a building process, and I think this is the way you've won more games than not. And I think suddenly this game seemed to really resonate with everybody. Like, how are we beating these bad teams only like this?
Yeah.
And no one seemed to say this after the Atlanta game, and no one seemed to say this after the Miami game, and no one seemed to say this after the Tampa game. Like, these teams are not that good that they're playing, and more often than like New Orleans. New Orleans is one of the worst teams in football. They had the ball with a chance to win the game in the last 2 minutes. No one was up in arms that day. Is it just because the goalposts have moved that much?
Maybe.
So today it's that's an honest question.
I think they want them to be on an upward trajectory going into the playoffs because, like we were talking about earlier, more times than not, it's the teams that peak in December and January. It's not the team that flips the switch. And I think, not to do that whole thing, but the concern is probably that they peak too early, right? And
I just don't know how much different they're playing. Is my
They
I
just
guess what I'm
squeezed
saying.
everything they possibly could out of what they had, and then once those top line guys that they brought in started getting hurt, now you're playing triage.
I thought they
and
played
trying to-
better against the Jets on the Thursday night game than they did Sunday in Cincinnati, but not by a lot. Not a huge difference to me. And they're both wretchedly bad teams.
I thought
that
they
you
played much better defense in Cincinnati than they did
I
against
agree.
the Jets. The
I
Jets just
totally agree.
had balls going through their hands and couldn't catch the passes. Yeah.
One more email from Barton Poland. If I see another tweet or post or anything saying that it's Elliott Wolf's fault that he didn't add any offensive line help at the deadline, I'm going to lose my mind. Anyone thinking a team would trade away a quality O-line depth has absolutely no understanding of how the NFL works. The only linemen who are realistically available were guys like Trevor Penning, who absolutely sucks. The O-line depth in the league is bad for every single team, so nobody is getting rid of anyone that is remotely capable of playing the position. So there.
He's
As
right.
it was written.
Bart's right.
They hung on to Vidarian Lowe. I mean, he was hurt all summer. I mean, he didn't come back into mid-August when he finally even started practicing. So I think they continue. Elliott Wolf said we've always thought he has good feet. We've seen something there. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how it all comes together with the new coaching staff. And again, like he was on the injury report a lot last year. I'm not giving him an excuse, but let's see what this guy who's
As
rested
long as he
for a few
lines
months
up
has.
right.
I give them like Josh he'll have chips. They'll have help on that side. Like they're not going to leave him on an island to go up
Brian
against
Burns.
Brian Burns on Monday night.
Good luck, Darian.
Like, and I give Josh McDaniels more of that. Like I think he's better at that than just about anybody in terms of understanding where the weaknesses potentially are and using things to help to that spot. I don't think that he's going to be, last year's coaching staff would just kind of put those guys out.
Hope for the best.
Yeah.
All right. We are done, but we're back tomorrow, the day before Thanksgiving. No show on Thanksgiving. We'll take the day off. But we will be here tomorrow, regular time. Catch 22 tomorrow at 10.
Yes.
Barth is available.
He's available
because this is where he makes his money this time of
That's
year.
a good point.
I think he's doing the afternoon.
Okay.
I was interested in if he was going
All
to
right.
text me and
So
have that
catch
concern.
22 at 10 tomorrow. We'll be at noon. We'll see you then.
Hey, this is Alex. Thanks for tuning into the show. If you really want to help us, make sure you like us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Also, make sure you follow us on the New England Patriots YouTube channel to see this show and everything else we do here at the Patriots. Thanks a lot.